whip it hey. Whip it hit me, double cup, yeah. I don't serve, but I buy, so I'm loved, yeah. And your girl turn her by when I'm whip it hit me up, yeah. Double cup, light me up, yeah. I don't serve, but I buy, so I'm loved, yeah. And your girl turn her by when I'm gone, yeah. I can't smoke no more, but I got a glass table. Let's see what's your name on it. Let's see what you're made of. Bedroom, yeah. What's the deal with you? And I'm here, like I'm here with you. And you doing nothing, I'm hearing you. I can't let you walk away, I just love the view. Put my head all on your shoulder and I molded you. Even when it seems like I'm being cold with you, I just want this feeling permanent, I'm holding you. You cannot understand what I'm going through. I got friends who aren't friends that being friend to you. I got family talking low like what they telling you. I got people I don't know that say they know and know. I got 1K in my pocket I could spend on you. If you really wanna go, then we going home. And you say you wanna line, and that's not like you. And you look at your reflection, it don't look like you. And this might be something old, but it's feeling new. Whip it hit me up, yeah. Double cup, light me up, yeah. I don't serve, but I buy, so I'm loved, yeah. And your girl turn her. Whip it hit me up, yeah. Double cup, light me up, yeah. I don't serve, but I buy, so I'm loved, yeah. And your girl turn her by when I'm gone, yeah. I can't smoke no more, but I got a glass table. Let's see what's your name on it. Let's see what you're made of. Look at your reflection. Can you recognize who you are anymore? Can you recognize who you are anymore? Look at my reflection. Look at your reflection. Look at your reflection. Bounce back, you bounce back, you bounce back. It's no way, there's no way that I can fuck with that. There's no way that I can fuck with you. Small town, switch for city views. Rack up like a gratitude. She's like, okay, yes I do. I like wanna kick it, yes I do. Bet I'm on the line and rolling too. She like, okay, yes I do. Okay, white Russian sipping like the dude. Smoking zip like the dude. Okay, win like Chicago in '92. Back to back, just starting new. They used to say that this ain't for you. Talking down when daddy pay for you. Going back, I need Nick, call the money fast. Ask me, If they just did it, I did it last week. It's past me. If you're rolling something, better pass me. Music business isn't about music, it's about casting. It's lasting or it's not. Either way, I pop. If you get me fucking started, I'ma stop you from the start. While you bragging about it naughty from 90s, I push the start. Either way, there's no fucking way. There's no fucking way. It's no way. There's no way that I can fuck with that. There's no way that I can fuck with you. Small town, switch for city views. Rack up like a grand or two. She's like, okay, yes I do. I'm like, wanna kick it, yes I do. Bet I'm on the line, I'm rolling too. She like, okay, yes I do. If you want, we good, I'm so good. If you want, yeah. It's that is shit I've been on, yeah. Cocaine not so heavy on me. I can feel you breathing on me. Back the fuck up and just give me up. I need a bitch who call me for, yeah. I need a bitch who give me love, yeah. I will never return it all. Coming through all of my missed calls. I let the drugs get go and let your demons in. When I fuck you, think of her. You go ahead and think of him, yeah. But you know, leave emotion at the door, yeah. Getting high, feeling low, yeah. Farthest thing from being normal, but we good, oh we good, yeah. If you want, we good, yeah. I'm so good. If you want, yeah. Yes, I'm on. That is shit I've been on, girl. Yeah. Cocaine not so heavy on me. I can feel you breathing on me. Back the fuck up and just give me up. I need a bitch who call me for, yeah. I need a bitch who give me love, yeah. I won't never return it.
Mhm. Excuse me. Mic check, mic check. 212, mic check. Yeah, that'll do for now. That'll do for now. What's happening, Bex? Rebecca Joe, Man Boy, Lord Racer in the building. How we doing? Oh, yes. I had a bit of free time, bit of spare time, Bit bored around the house, everyone's sleeping. So I thought, you know what? Let me jump online real quick. Apparently, Lisbeth has been spotted. Lisbeth has been spotted. So, title of the show, Lisbeth. Lisbeth. Hey, what's going on, boy? Hey, it was good talking to you the other day with Dino and our new guest. Very good. Good little discussion. Good little sit down, chin wag. Cheers. Cheers for that. Um, but yeah, there's a few things I wanted to actually speak to our new friend about again. I got the name of something Hyperborea. Something Hyperborea. All right. I'd like to have another discussion. There's some things he would say, and I was like, yeah, I can see that. I can see that. But in some things I was like, kind of contradicting. But, we can sit down and talk about it. It was about hearing his perspective, right? So that's all it was. Didn't want to take anything away from that experience, you know. hmm On a different note, yeah, that one's perspective, rings and something. We can get into that later stage. But on a different note, Lisbeth has been spotted. Do you remember our friend Lisbeth? Hmm? Remember our darling, our darling Lisbeth? Hmm? Gave us the beautiful one-eye cameo thimble. Remember, London done a bit of, deep diving research and I come across pictures like this. Yeah, you remember Lisbeth, right? She popped back up, apparently. All right. She popped back up. Exactly. Golden ticket. Yes, that's the lady. That's the lady. hmm That's the lady. Golden ticket win. I haven't seen her, you know, during this whole, charade with the final experiment, Duffy, and people trying to debunk it. I haven't seen her. She's been quiet. Where's she been? I was looking on all of the OF accounts. I didn't see her on no OF accounts. Everything's been quiet. She's not been on YouTube. Tried to look for the Flat Earth Gang. Couldn't find the Flat Earth Gang. I don't know. Yeah, that's the one. The golden ticket winner. Couldn't find her. But apparently she popped up the other day with what's his name? Mark Sargent. Apparently she popped up over there. Right? So I think it's only right we have a look. What do you guys reckon? See what's going on over there real quick. Give me a sec. Slide over there. Slide over there.
And let's go back to here. And Lisbeth had took over as co-host or whatever you want to call it. Sorry, I'm gonna bring this up here. And I think I've got it queued up for some reason here. Let me listen to what's being said.
Saturday. You guys, if I'm mistaken, again, if I something I have in timeline, you guys or the chat room, please correct me. So on Saturday, did you have that thing you could pull up the headstone? Sure. Okay. So on Saturday, Celebrate Truth posted a headstone in the snow for Flat Earth, and the text goes something like this.
After much thought, research, and consideration, I've come to a new conclusion about the shape of the Earth. I was wrong. I'm sorry. I wish to act with integrity. I have changed my opinion based on new information that has been presented in Antarctica from the final experiment. my God, can you tell how hard this is for me to say right now?
Sorry, man. I didn't mean to do that. Throw you under the bus.
I have not been paid, threatened, or compromised in any way.
And that was tough for DJ to read for a number of reasons.
So first of all, whose letter was that? Was that a letter from Jaren? Was that a letter from Jaren? Who was that from? I wonder if it is Jaren because um someone did tell me Jaren covered this also. So I wonder if it's a letter from Jaren. I don't know. I don't know. Well,
Because
this is Jaren.
well, let me explain what Celebrate Truth is. Sorry, DJ. I'm so sorry, man. I didn't mean to put
This
you
is
like
all
on a-
just wild. I'll just say it right now. This is wild, and yeah, I'm trying to figure out why. So
For those who don't know, and again, I apologize to Lisbeth. We had to play catch up yesterday during our pre-call because you're new to some of the things, and some of this stuff is OG. Some of this stuff goes back to the day. I mean, we're talking 10 years ago when you were like 7 or whatever it was.
He said 10 years ago when she was like 7. He's wild for that. No, but hey, is it me or does she look a bit more mature in the face? More mature in the face. Looks a bit more weight in her face. I don't know.
So what happened was, Shields who do not know what Celebrate Truth is. It is because we haven't heard from him in a while. Celebrate Truth is a channel by a guy named Robbie Davidson. And Robbie Davidson was one of the original Flat Earth Christian content creators back in the day. And he was the guy when Brian Mullen was forced to drop out of helping organize the conference. He took over and ran the first Raleigh conference in 2017, the Denver conference in 2018.
I'm not sure that is true, but I don't know what he's talking about. Why did Brian Mullins come up with that? Just one more time, I'll listen to that.
And he was the guy when Brian Mullen was forced to drop out of helping organize the conference. He took over and ran the first Raleigh conference in 2017, the Denver conference in 2018, and the Dallas conference in 2019.
With Betfair, you can get a completely free bet every weekend until Cheltenham on any racing multiple.
And he organized Christian conferences. He was friends with Rob Skiba. He did a lot. He was as embedded in the
Or it's a slightly more Adams family. Yeah. That's crazy. What's happening now?
the Christian flat Earth community as anyone. And however, Robbie got himself into a little bit of trouble. He believed that conference publicity should be paramount no matter the cost to the topic itself. And as Lisbeth was quick to
Lie. So Mark Sargent's the one who said from day one, no publicity is bad publicity. That was not Rob's position at all, and he just was part of Logan Paul's coming, saying, "Hey, I'm a flat earther," and yeah, he fell for the hoax, if you will, but certainly not what he's claiming here that he did it on purpose. Let's listen.
point out because thank you by the way for that, Lisbeth, which was yesterday when he allowed the Howard Stern team to show up in Raleigh, but they didn't prank us, and you guys weren't there, but it's because the lobby was so jammed, it was so unique, it was so jammed full of cameras and media, there wasn't a place to set up a prank. There was nothing you could do. Everyone's hands were, I mean, we were wall to wall. I was wearing 3 hot mics simultaneously at one point. It was bad. The next year in Denver, of course, one of the worst ones, the one I walked out on, Robbie Davidson accepted thousands of dollars from Logan Paul.
I mean, that is also false. Okay, so Rob, where's the receipts for this? Where's the evidence of this? You can't just throw friends under the bus because you don't like their new opinions. Okay, Robbie Davidson was not paid anything by Logan Paul.
Look, they're all coming after each other. Now they've gone their own ways. Now they've gone their own ways. They're all coming after each other. Wow. Crazy. Day one S in the building. Logan was gone.
He was not paid off by ABC Nightline or the stunt that was done with Jimmy Kimmel. somebody, another thing Mark says, I'm reading from Robbie here. I was told by someone that I need to step down and let Karen B take over, which is also not true.
Oh,
Um,
oh, is that what someone said? You need to step down and Karen Bizzle, Babe, need to take over. Okay, that's why she's going so hard. That's why she's going so hard. Okay.
um, other than Robbie was paid off to leave Flat Earth, even though
Was you aware of that, boy? That she's becoming head of the family? Did you know the head of the family was changing? Probably did. Excuse me.
I'm doing no shows or interviews, and you know that for a fact that I've been wanted to be on global shows or Glober shows, and I've said no. Right.
She always was. Bingo. There you go. Bingo. The hand that rocks the cradle. I know. I know. I know.
Um, so basically, they're saying also that he's been paid off to be in this documentary that Will is going to be putting out. There's no documentary by Will, so that's another one. Let me see here. But there is no stepping down. No one came to him and told him he needed to step down and hand it over to Karen. That's just made up. Okay. Let's continue to see what he's saying here.
Paul, one of the worst internet trolls that there is, to look the other way while he pranks the conference. It's absolute fact. Not even a question.
Wow. Absolute fact, not even a question, and it's false. It's just Mark's make believe in his head, just made up. So you need to watch out for that. If you've got your flat earth leaders that are now willing to lie to you to keep you from even looking into possibly leaving.
Uh-oh. 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 Yo, who's doing that gatekeeping stuff? Let my people go. Eh? Let my people go. He's holding you back from looking into other stuff. Don't let no one hold you back. Do your own research. Become a researcher. Do your own stuff. Come up with your own conclusions. Don't let them tell you what it is. Try a thing, man. Eh? Let them go. Let my people go. Oh, Tizzle in the building. My guy. Salute to you, my man. Hey, by the way, I got your donation, my man. Thank you very much. I didn't even ask and you give. See how generous you are? I didn't even ask and you give. You're so generous. You're so generous. You're so kind. Thank you very much. Oh, Tizzle, my guy.
Leaving.
Let me know if anybody wants that link. I'll drop that for you folks. But we're gonna get through this, right? All right.
Or considering leaving. You should know that. Go talk to Mark and say, Mark, what evidence do you have that he received thousands of dollars to turn the other way and let Logan Paul uh, prank the conference? Of course, he will not have evidence of that because it's made up. Okay. Um, let's continue.
That he did this, and I was one of the only people that did internet research at that level. Going down, because that's way below me in terms of age groups. But I knew who the kid was, and so I walked out of the conference because they said, "Oh, yeah, by the way, he's going on stage in front of you." It's like, yeah, the hell he is. So I left.
So Mark had engagements with Patricia. They had speeches they were supposed to give, a presentation, an award show, and he just left. He
Huh?
just left, didn't tell anybody he was leaving.
Or he just got up and left. What the hell? Why would you do that? Huh? Why are you gonna leave the award show? What point are you trying to prove? And the people, let me know.
Didn't tell anybody he was leaving. Where's Mark? He left at
Oh,
the conference because he was upset that Logan Paul was getting to go on stage before him, and that's where
oh,
this whole lie comes out that
Logan Paul. I don't even know Logan Paul. Who's Logan Paul? Is he a flat earther? Is he a glober? Is he a hollow earther? What is Logan Paul? Who is Logan Paul? Should I know Logan Paul?
Robbie turned the other cheek and let him do it or something like that. So I'm reading some stuff that was written to me, Patricia. She says, Mark started the show by talking about Robbie Davidson coming to a new conclusion about Flat Earth. DJ, the co host, was asked to read a small portion of the statement, Mark focused on the end line in which I said I have not been compromised in any way. He then lied about Robbie and said in Denver accepted thousands of dollars from Logan Paul to look the other way while he pranked the conference. It's absolute fact, not even a question. That he did this according to Mark without a shred of evidence. Please provide the evidence if you're going to make an accusation like that. He has said this before, but has never provided any evidence because he can't. He also lied and said Robbie in 2019 had full knowledge of the Jimmy Kimmel team that they were going to prank us when they attended the conference. He provided no proof of that. There was a man in costume pretending to be a flat earther as part of Jimmy Kimmel's team, but Robbie wasn't aware of that plan. Excuse me. He did know a film crew was there, though they had not, was there though, and they were allowed to film. Mark lied and said because Robbie was essentially benched from the conference, because Robbie was essentially benched from the conference scene, you're not doing conferences anymore, and luckily for him,
We have a lot going on.
Banned, so people are getting banned from the conference. Okay.
and luckily for him,
Why are they getting banned? Who's banning them? Who's banning them?
the pandemic started, and the following year, and then Karen B had to scramble, and she ran every conference from then on the East Coast.
Karen B ran every. Did you hear it? Not some, every. Not some, but every. Was you aware of that, boy? Timeless in the building. What's happening? Hey, boy, was you aware of that? She was running everything from now on. You probably did. Who am I talking to? Boy, come on.
On the East Coast. This is a lie because no one benched Robbie.
Everything on the East Coast, did it say? Hold on a second. Was she muffling everything on the East Coast?
Anymore. And luckily for him, the pandemic started, and the following year, and then Karen B had to scramble, and she ran every conference from then on the East Coast. This is a lie because no one benched Robbie.
Yeah, she's running everything on the East Coast. East side. Yeah, she's running it from the East side. East side boys. Okay, I see you, Bizzle.
Decided to take a step back from the conference organizing without anyone directing him in any way to do so, and Karen on her own and independently decided to do the conferences. Not because some direction to do so. Mark claimed we pushed him off that side, meaning Robbie, and that was a lie. Let's listen a little bit more.
And in 2018, he repeated the same. I'm sorry, in 2019, he repeated the same thing in Dallas, where he let the Jimmy Kimmel team in with full knowledge what they were going to do. They were going to prank us, and they stayed until my set, and they finished, and they did like an 8-minute skit on late night television with Jimmy Kimmel. Because of that,
but he had no full knowledge of that. That's just a Mark lie.
Robbie was essentially benched from the Flat Earth conference team.
Another lie.
We said, you're not doing conferences anymore. And luckily for him, the pandemic started the very next year. And then Karen B had to scramble, and she ran every conference from then on the.
Who's we said? Who's this? We said that this happens and this happens. Who's we?
He's we.
It doesn't seem to be the case at all. Continue.
Post. It was brilliant. Karen, love you. Thank you for doing that. Including it was all the Flattoberfest, which pinnacled really with the Flattoberfest in Vegas, where DJ and I were. It was fantastic. Love that event. Because he was benched, and when he lived in Canada, that was it. He was like, well, I'm just going to run my 24/7 channel, let my other stuff go, and he wasn't around. Part of it was because of the pandemic, but part of it was because we kind of pushed him off to the side.
That's just not true. I remember when Robbie called and told me he wasn't going to do it anymore. I was like, wow, really? And he's like, yeah, it's just too much work. It's taking me a whole year's worth of work, and the amount that I'm getting at the end is not worth the work putting in. Somebody else can take it over, but it's too much for me. Plus, he was getting demonized by people. Back in those days, they would be, anything that went wrong with the event, people had, they were all pissed off about it. I remember I made a post because a bunch of people were complaining that the price was too expensive and blah, 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 and he must be pocketing a bunch of money. And I explained everything that we got at the conference, which was breakfast, and they had waters and juice and lemonade. All these things cost a ton of money. You can look them up. They were like $7,000 to have juice and tea, right? So people were just very confused, thinking they were like, oh, it's $300 a ticket. He made this much money, and so he pocketed this much. They didn't know any of that. So he just got tired of having to answer, because if you haven't noticed, flat earthers are a little bit assholiness. Assholes. And
hey, There's no need to be like that, is there? What did you say then? How did we hear that again?
did this much. They didn't know any of that. So he just got tired of having to answer because if you haven't noticed, flat earthers are a little bit uh, assholiness, assholes, and they will make a stink over anything. They still can't get over the fact of not.
Turn a good day into a great day, into the
Oh,
best day ever.
he said
Deliveroo
flat
just
earthers are
makes it better.
assholes, yeah? Okay.
Chess grandmasters use
Not
cloud
another
computing.
idea. Yeah, he's not feeding the flat earth.
Get over the fact of not knowing whether or not we went to Antarctica or they think that we didn't go. There's channels that have been going on every day for 2 months talking about the fakery when there is none. So flat earthers are not really the sharpest crayons in the shed. Hopefully you understood that joke. Anyway, let's continue.
Did he have beef with us? Yes, he absolutely did.
What?
So we'll get back
He had beef with us?
to the quote DJ just read. Badly.
Barely read. Oh my god.
It was a terrible read. Well, you're not getting the part. So no, it was
No
good. No,
problem.
it was authentic, perfect. And the reason why let's get to this really fast. The reason why it rattled DJ is because Celebrate Truth what has been a strong inspiration. You know, half our community members are strong Christians. Was inspirational to a lot of people, including DJ. And you can chime in if you want, if you don't get choked up, which is DJ watched a lot of Celebrate Truth. This was a lot of content that he.
And basically, just to remind people, this was so disappointing to watch because, first of all, you've got Lisbeth there for her first time on the show. Well, she was here as
Uh-oh.
a guest, but now she's there replacing Patricia.
Yo, is that what's going on? Okay. Okay. She's replacing the other person. The other person, right? She's replacing the other person. Okay. Okay. Interesting. You know the other person I'm talking that used to sit up there, right? Okay. So that's what's going on. So you get your little reward. You get your little reward. You get your final experiment completed. Then you get your reward. All right. New co-host with Mark Sargent, Grandmaster, gatekeeper for the Flat Earth community. Is that how you're moving? Okay. I see you. I see you shining, Mitch. I see you shining, A.
She's there replacing Patricia. And basically, he tells a lie for 2 hours. So all of us are sitting there like, okay, now Lisbeth believes the lie because why would Mark just get on the show and just tell a different version of events, which is what happened. So that's a problem. Not to mention.
Oh, Mark telling a different story. Mark, you're telling a different story. Tell the truth. You're a sergeant for crying out loud.
People are going to take what he's saying as being true because they think he's got some sort of authority or that he has the inside baseball on it, and he does not. He's
That's it. It's the authority. He's smart. You put the sergeant on the end of it. All right. It messes with your psyche. When you hear the sergeant, you're like, oh, top truther, gotta act up, be sharp. Oh, you start doing a turn hot, start saluting him and shit, thinking, what the fuck am I doing? Just Mark. But it's the sergeant that throws you off. You start believing him, believing the lies because he's a sergeant.
and he does not. He's actually just making things up.
That he digested over the years. True.
Absolutely true.
Told you.
I mean, I sat here in this living room getting to know just the history through the lens of Celebrate Truth, which did showcase conferences and podcast interviews, your stuff, other people's content, movies, videos, just an amalgamation of Flat Earth content. And what was interesting about it to me is, look, I know, Mark, you're always so kind saying like, oh, DJ, you're perfect, blah, blah, blah. Absolutely not. And I was on a journey where I was seeking hope, you guys. I was looking at the world like, what is going on out here? Where is God? Do you know what I mean? I'm like, I just wanted to know that this isn't all just for nothing.
Hey, no disrespect, man, but DJ Curious said he looked out the window and asked, where is God? No way. Oh, gosh. No, man. That was so easy. That one was easy. That was a layup. I had to. Sorry. Looked at the window. Was you looking at the back window by any chance? That's why you didn't see him. You got to look in the attic if you want to find God, right? Look up if you want to find God. Don't look in the back window, right? Oh man, that's wild. Yeah, buddy. Hope I ain't going to HE double hockey sticks for that one.
This isn't all just for nothing. And I was researching all sorts of things. I was reading the scripture. Now, when you're on that journey, it doesn't just
I'm gonna
change you overnight. I'm
forward a little
still on, and that's what it meant to me.
They absolutely don't. And let me springboard off of DJ. Last week, the mission statement from Robbie's channel read something like this. I'm sorry, exactly like this. I cut and pasted it, Robbie, for posterity, because I knew what was coming down, and we'll get to that in 1 second. The channel's mission statement.
Let me just say what he just said. So Robbie had it like I have. You have your little statement on your YouTube channel. If you all of a sudden decide that you're going to no longer believe in the flat Earth, the first thing you should do is go and take down any statement on your channel that says that you think the Earth's flat. That's the right thing to do.
Okay, I see what you're saying there. That makes sense to some degree, yeah. So people don't get confused. Yeah, there's some logic in that. There's some logic in that. Maybe I should do the same. Take some stuff away that. I don't know. A lot of people see my journey. I don't know. Oh, it's a hard one, that one. Take it down or let people see the journey. It depends. It depends. I don't know. I don't know. Everyone's different. Everyone's different. I mean, there is some stuff that I do remove, certain streams and certain things that, I think might get me in trouble. I remove it before it happens and shit like that. It's different from that, I suppose. I don't know.
That's the right thing to do. Mark is treating this as if he'd uncovered something. Let me read what the mission statement was before he took it down. Well, yeah, because he changed his belief. That's what you should do.
Promote God's truth and expose the world lies. What if everything that NASA and science has taught you about the Earth, sun, moon, stars, and space was a lie? What if Satan wanted to destroy the foundations of God's word with perverting the truth of the enclosed flat Earth we live in from the very start? It might sound crazy, but take the journey and study this topic because it might be the most shocking truth we ever discovered about the world you live in. Open your Bible and read all the verses describing God's creation again. Evolution is a lie, and teaching nothing more than you were just an accident in a big bang. Monkey man science is all part of the Great Deception. Don't believe the lies. That was his mission statement last week. You know what it is this week? Crickets. It's gone. In fact, what do you replace it with? John something, I think. Just he initially replaced it with nothing, and then he replaced it with a single Bible verse.
It's just even the words that he said just a second ago, enclosed flat earth that we live in. That is a mouthful. Enclosed flat earth that we live in. Right? It's the words that, these flat earthers quote use. Right? It's just, I don't know. You'd think by now they understand the trickery that's going on, promoting living honorable. You'd think these flat earthers would change their wordplay a bit, as opposed to living inside of a ball. But the best they come up with is just flat earth. And that's it. Enclosed flat earth. There's no more dimensions to it, no more. They don't leave room for, for the possibilities of, ever having to go back on your word. Like, we good to look into things, research it, man. That's when you live on a globe. Best thing you say is no, we live in the globe. The complete opposite to what they say. Enclosed flat earth system. It's a mouthful.
And then he replaced it with a single Bible verse. And then he replaced the enclosed world dome thing, which is described there, with a crown of thorns.
There is enclosed world dome thing. See that dome thing? That's how they give it to you, dome thing. But the translations has messed it up. It's always been celestial sphere, not a dome. Dome and a sphere is two different things. But then again, it's all about perspective, right?
Dome thing, which is described there with a crown of thorns. And the headstone that you mentioned, basically say out of the blue, this is where we're gonna get into the meat of this. Out of the blue, Robbie Davidson.
Crown of thorns. Crown of thorns on the dome. Hmm. Crown of thorns on the dome. I could imagine a crown of thorns around a ring, right? Can you picture that? A crown of thorns around a ring, not a dome, but a ring, right? So just imagine like the sun rays. You know when you used to draw the sun as a child, and you draw the little rays coming off, right? That's like a crown of thorns from a bird's eye view, right? The light coming from behind the object, the lens or whatever it is, it makes a little flame. It could be another part to the body what they're talking about within the eye that holds the lens like that. It looks exactly like that. But just the wordplay, right? Like I said, you see rings, you see spheres, you see a dome, you see a complete globe, right? They're only giving you one half of the picture, and whenever they give you the dome or talk about the dome, one half of the picture or the story.
Out of the blue, Robbie Davidson, with no foreshadowing, no warning, says, "Oh, that's it. I'm a globalist now. Good night, everybody." It's like the followers of the channel, the people, it's like just shockwaves absolutely sent through the Vladimir Christian.
Except for the fact that he posted on Facebook exactly the reason why. Clearly, he didn't come up with that on a whim in a second. It's a whole post. It's a whole. It's written out. It's thought through. It's accurate. It clearly took time.
Whether it's pets leaving stains or the other animals in your home, they all
It clearly took time. So you're telling a story that just isn't the truth. He wrote these things out.
Because like, where did the hell this come from? So, that being said, we lost Lisbeth again. By the way, there she is. Are you okay, Lisbeth? She's trying to reset her camera. She's okay.
I messaged you guys. I may have to.
So Jaron saying this is not true. Whatever Mark's saying, Jaron saying this is not true. Who are we supposed to believe? I don't care anyway. Either way, I'm just here for Lisbeth. Really, I want to hear Lisbeth talk, but I don't know the narrative with these two. Has there always been bad blood between, these group of people, or is it just since, the splitting? I don't know. The blood now.
She's okay.
I messaged you guys. I may have to switch to my phone because it is so bad. Apologies. I'm just like I.
Here's what happened. That statement that DJ read.
Elizabeth is having some bad internet or Wi-Fi connection, so give her some time. Excuse me on behalf of her.
May seem like a shock to you and a lot of people. However, for some of us, a few of us, it wasn't a shock at all. Now, I say that because I knew ahead of time it was coming, and I didn't say anything because I wanted to make sure, right? Just because you hear a tip, an insider tip, which I got, and it was a good one, and it wasn't just about him, I wasn't going to say anything, so I let it happen without trying to get ahead of it. Because, as my father said on numerous occasions, until it's happened, it hasn't. Granted, he was talking about people in turn signals most of the time, but whatever. I think it still applies. So the other thing about that statement, in fact, let me pull it up. I want to read it one more time. The other thing about that statement was because for those who know Robbie Davidson, after much thought, research, and consideration, I've come to a new conclusion about the shape of the Earth. I was wrong. I'm sorry. I wish to act with integrity. I've changed my opinion based on information that has been presented in Antarctica from the final experiment. I've not been paid, threatened, or compromised in any way. What was interesting to me is when I read that, it's like, huh.
So he's upset because someone changed their perspective on the shape of the Earth. Well, I've been saying about perspective, right? Aren't we allowed to change? Why do we have to stay flat earthers? Or why do the people have to stay flat earthers? I don't know. It's like, at the end of the day, it's still their belief, right? So I took myself out of it and just became a researcher. Having that title, it don't make sense. It don't make sense. Because people are getting their feelings over it. They're getting their feelings instead of presenting evidence or work and just talking about it.
Is when I read that, it's like, huh. I know this text. In fact, I read it a full day earlier, but it wasn't from Robbie. Who wrote that text? Well, I have an email, which there she is. Hang on one second. Let me bring her back in.
I mean, these are just crazy ideas that because, and Robbie and Patricia are friends, they talk all the time. So, of course, Patricia sent before she sent it to Mark or around then, she sends what she's going to write to Mark to Robbie, and Robbie sees that line and says, "Oh, can I use that as well?"
So okay, it's Patricia's letter. She sent it to this guy called Mark. Sorry, Robbie. Before she sent it to Mark, then Robbie probably sent the sending message overlaid to Mark. Robbie, what's going on here? It sounds tangled already. I can see it.
Line and says, "Oh, can I use that as well?" Because I don't want people to think I've been compromised either.
Oh,
There you are. There you are. All right, and I will.
Goodness
remove
gracious.
Okay, kill off the other one, or kill the microphone on the other one.
There we go.
Hey, look at that. Is that an Apple phone?
Yeah.
Lisbeth is back. Lisbeth is back.
I'm on my laptop. It's an HP, and I don't know why it's giving me such trouble. I thought that it would be better, but I don't know.
That looks great. This is way better.
It's not set to on. Damn it. From that statement is not from him. He did not write. All right. So sorry for the interruption. So Robbie closes. Robbie makes that statement, and the statement is not from him. That's the text from.
There's DIY, and there's doing it.
Text from that statement is not from him. He did not write that. Where did he write it? Who wrote that text? Well, I don't know who the original writer is, but I read it a full one day later from Patricia Steer, who has not been outed officially in anything, which we'll get to.
A day later or a day before?
Day before. Day before. Didn't I say day before? So Saturday.
Day later.
Saturday.
Day after.
Robbie did that thing with the headstone. Friday, I received a personal message from Patricia, and only one, with an email, which I'm not going to read, but that text was in it. Robbie took that headstone.
You notice he says he's not going to read it when she said, "You can read this to the audience. In fact, I think it's a good idea." But again, she listed the reasons that the flat Earth doesn't work, and Mark doesn't want that to be let out to the.
Oh, what? Hold on. Whoa, hold on. Patricia done a U-turn also. She said, "What? Whoa. Take that back. Hold on a second."
When she said,
with an email, which I'm not going to read, but that text was in it. Robbie took that headstone.
You notice he says he's not going to read it when she said, "You can read this to the audience. In fact, I think it's a good idea." But again, she listed the reasons that the flat Earth doesn't work, and Mark.
Oh, she listed the reasons why the flat Earth doesn't work. Oh Lord. Wowzers. What's going on here? What? Patricia, is that how you're jumping ship? Wowzers. She said she can. Oh Lord, let me take that back a second. I wasn't expecting that. Take that back. Take it back.
but that text was in it. Robbie took that headstone.
You notice he says he's not going to read it when she said, "You can read this to the audience. In fact, I think it's a good idea." But again, she listed the reasons that the flat Earth doesn't work, and Mark doesn't want that to be uh, let out to the cult.
Ah, and Mark doesn't want it to be let out, so Mark's gatekeeping it. What's Mark doing? What? What? What is going on? Hmm? Let my people go. Let them go, man. Let them go. Oh, Lord. Let's go.
uh, Let out to the cult. You have to keep the cult from finding out that there's people leaving and they have good reason for leaving. You have to turn it into they're leaving because they've been paid, they're leaving because they've been compromised, so that everybody else in the cult now. I mean, imagine this: if somebody thinks, let's say you're a big name creator, I don't know who. I have to think of somebody off the top of my head. Who can I think of? Who does flatter stuff now? I don't know. Level Earth Observer, just for example. I don't know. Let's say he starts thinking, I do have my doubts about this. I'm thinking of stepping down, but then Mark has told everybody that I've been paid off, Patricia's been paid off, and Robbie's been paid off. So nobody else is going to step down from the flat Earth because they're not getting offers. So they're going to be like, why would I step down? I haven't gotten an offer like they did. I haven't got paid yet. Even though that's not at all how the world works, this is how Mark is portraying the world, which is insane.
Cut and paste directly from Patricia.
That's wild. So what? She just jumped off. Is that what he's saying? Hold on a second. Let's not gloss over that a second, because she was just sitting up here the other day, rocking the flat Earth movement like she was a part of it. She was just up here. I could have sworn she was also giving what's his name, Jaren, some pushback. I bloody got timed out on the Globe Busters or whatever it is. Remember? Do you remember? I got timed out on that channel. I think by her actually, because I said something about Lisbeth. Right? I made a comment about Lisbeth and what's her name? Patricia timed me out. Right? Terrible, terrible. And I wasn't even being rude. It was just a comment. So I don't know. These people are strange. Now they're fighting amongst each other. Now she's gone the other way. Uh, Lisbeth has taken her place. I've heard Karen B's starting to make references to the globe and the celestial observations, and it matches the globe and all of this stuff. What's going on with all these flat earthers? Or not even so much the flat earthers. I mean the leaders, should I say? Why are these leaders spazzing out? They're losing the plot. Why is everyone losing the plot? What is going on? Where's Jaren? Right now, this other guy who they're talking about, I forgot his name already. I'm very bad with names, but I forgot the guy's name already. All right, that guy's name. Then now Patricia. Apparently, these are prominent figures. I know Patricia is. I know Jaren was, or still is. Globe figure now. I don't know too much about the other guy, but he probably is because they're umming and ahhing about it and making some noise. So he must have been somebody. Hmm. Oh man, let's keep going. See, I'm not. You see what's the title behind them? Strange World, right? Strange World. Look at the backdrop. Strange World. I'm not in that world. All these people, they know each other and they know when they're on and live and they go to events and they know each other by name. And I don't know these names. They mention a name. I don't know who they're talking about. I don't know who they're talking about, but it's interesting sometimes.
Which is insane.
Cut and paste directly from Patricia's letter into that headstone, which meant, at the very least, those two were in contact with each other. I don't necessarily want to throw out the word collusion,
Why they can't collude if they decide together that they don't believe two people can't get together and be like, we don't believe this anymore.
But on, if it's a bank robbery, accomplices, if I'm working a courtroom here, if I'm working a jury, I'm winning so far, right?
There's no jury for people changing their beliefs.
At this point, the jury's starting to squint.
There's no, what did they do wrong?
He said no jury for people changing their belief. Yeah, okay. You're not wrong.
So, and I've had
That is shocking. Yeah.
DJ's told me on several occasions now I will do so because Patricia was a co-host on this show.
What's more stranger? What's more weird? People go into a religion or people believing in the globe, like living on top and underneath the globe. What's more? Did I say that right? What seems more? What seems more far out there? Like that you'd never believe in globe or you know the story of the in the Bible, God and Jesus and all that stuff. What's more plausible?
I will do so because Patricia was a co-host on this show to give her as much benefit as I can, and I will.
That's what I want to do. And Patricia, if you're listening, I just nothing but love on my side. Just hoping that whatever you're going through. I mean, I just feel like we're all going through something, right? It's okay.
And I think that what's going on here, at least, and I haven't talked to Mark about.
Say hello to motionarray.com. You can take your videos from.
I haven't talked to Mark about this. I did send him a message today, but a lot of the things that I'm hearing are repeats of things that I've heard from people saying David Weiss said them. So that's why if you look at the thumbnail, you've got David Weiss on the. I think David Weiss is in people's ears. Okay, he is being this little Satan character over here, and he's whispering to Mark, "Hey, I have inside information that Jaron is pulling people away from the flat Earth, that they're getting paid, that they're getting houses, and this is why this all happened at the same time, and we got to put a stop to it. We got to put a stop to it before more people escape. So what we'll do is we will say this and this, and we'll whatever they decide." That's what it seems like because I'm hearing, and I'm not trying to throw other people under the bus that have told me that, so I'm not going to say names, but people that Weiss has called have let it be known what Weiss said. And so they are similar things that we're hearing from other people. So it's clearly what looks like to me, unless Mark is on his own and and then just happened to get the wording right that Dave Weiss is using. And this is not how you treat friends. This is not how you treat friends. Everything that we've done has been on the up and up. I got back. I knew I couldn't go another show with talking about the flat earth because I no longer believed it. So on my Christmas Eve show, I said, I'm no longer a flat earther. That the earth is, or that the predictions and the way the earth operates.
That's when he made that announcement on Christmas Eve. Okay. Christmas Eve, he was no longer a flat earther. Okay.
Match the sphere model. Okay. That is okay for me to do. That's what I should do if I'm changing my opinion based on new evidence. Same thing with Robbie. Same thing with Patricia. They called me and said, "Hey, some questions about the trip. We got, I have this question. What do you think about this? How do you feel about this? What's your answer to this?" And we talked, you know. And so am I colluding with them? I didn't reach out to them and say, "Robbie, you need to get off the flat earth right now." We hadn't talked to Robbie in a while. Okay. Robbie reached out to me because I was one of the few people that have changed my opinion, and he kind of wanted to get a feel, and we talked for an hour, and he kind of made the decision that he thought he was going to do the same thing. So if you're going to hear in a second, they're going to say that they knew early, and I made the mistake of telling somebody, "Hey, can't say anything yet, but these two people are thinking of leaving and maybe leaving in the coming days." Well, that person went and told Dave Weiss. So then Dave Weiss, getting this information that these two people are leaving, told Mark, "Hey, Jaron has these two people ready to leave. They're in his pocket," something like that. And then that turned into, I must be doing that. You'll hear Mark in this video say that Jaron is sent threatening emails or texts to 15 people. Again, this is when you can tell somebody's lying. Provide receipts. You can't, because there's no such thing as that. So Why would we be demonized to the point that you have to lie about us? And I don't know in whose mind lying about me was a good idea. When have I ever stood for that? When have I ever stood for that? It's the dumbest thing you could have done. Just be honest. Read Rob's exit letter. Read Patricia's exit letter and move the fuck on.
To question things. It's okay to leave. It's okay to change your mind. I mean, that's a part of this whole journey. But seeking the truth to me is still more important than anything. And if that means people have to go about it in a roundabout way, then I'm going to try my best to not judge, because that's not my role and that's nobody's role here. But I see where you're coming from, Mark, and but I felt compelled to just try to at least get to the bottom of it, in the sense of, I mean, she was very open and upfront with it, saying, "Hey." But I get it doesn't look good, but I get it.
It doesn't look good, but again, that's why. Again, I can't judge. However, I can influence the jury, and we're not done because that story doesn't end there. So Saturday, Robbie drops out. Friday, Patricia privately drops out. Right, one day between the two, Robbie uses her text. Therefore, at the bare minimum, they're in it together. But Mark,
So
did you know that Patricia was going to do it? Yes, I did. You see, I got advance notice that Patricia was going to do the same thing, and said nothing because, as my father said, until it's happened, it hasn't happened. A full day before Patricia contacted me, I got an inside tip, and before
ooh, an inside tip. I wonder who that's from. Could it be a man dressed in red?
that guy got an inside tip, he got a tip that went up through the grapevine, and the original tip was leaked by Jaron Campanella from Jaronism, who said, and I quote, two people in the Flyers community, content creators, are going to flip. I have them. They're in my pocket.
Okay, so Mark,
Oh,
when you lie,
so who you talking about? You got them in your pocket. You got them in your pocket. I wonder who you talking about.
you have to provide receipts. So whoever said that, have them show you or show people that that was ever said by me.
Ah, so it's more. Oh, my. I should have guessed. I should have known. I should have known. It's a sergeant, police. They like to lie. They fabricate. You know, it's what they do. I don't know. Who am I supposed to believe, though? The actor or the sergeant? Excuse me. It's quite hard right now. Who do I believe? The actor or the sergeant? Actor boy or sergeant man? Interesting.
Have them show you or show people that that was ever said by me. Show a text message, show something. I'm giving permission to release private text messages. I never said
Give
I
him
had them in my
permission.
pocket.
He's giving permission. You hear that? He's giving permission. Actor boy. You hear that, Sergeant man?
Got them. Nothing like that.
So, boasting to a degree is like I was the one that turned them. It's like, oh,
He's just making that up. He's just making that up. There's a lot of people who have reached out and said, "Oh, I have to keep my name down. I'm leaving.
Ah,
I can't say their names."
volume's up to the max.
So when these two didn't really say that, at no time did Patricia say, "Hey, you can't say my name," and neither did Rob. They just kind of, I guess, in a
Hold on. Yeah, I've done everything I can now to turn that up. Um, where are we?
you can't say my name, and neither did Rob. They just kind of, I guess, in a personal fashion, I probably shouldn't have said something, but the person I said it to, I thought would keep it to themselves. Of course, they went and told Dave Weiss, but that's fine. I don't mind that because I tell the truth, and so I don't have to worry about things when I tell the truth. Okay, when you lie on your show like you're doing here, Mark, you have to worry about things because they're going to start demanding evidence. They're going to start demanding receipts. I can show you the receipts of me talking to Patricia, of me talking to Robbie, and them saying, "Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I don't know yet." Still, right. So I just said, I think these people are going to flip soon. I think that they're close. Never said anything about them being in my pocket. I've got them. That's Mark's addition to the story.
okay. So now we have a new wrinkle, which is, and he was 100% correct. How did Jaron know in advance with 100% accuracy that these two people were going to flip these two.
It wasn't 100% accuracy. I said, I think these.
Accuracy. Yeah, you knew they were gonna turn Jaren. You knew. Hmm? He's a detective. It's what Mark does, right? He's a sergeant. Yeah.
These two.
It wasn't 100% accuracy. I said, I think these two people might flip their close.
I don't know. Ooh, it's the word you use. Hmm? It's the word you use. I don't know. Oh, it's a strange one, that. Strange one.
But they need to do it on their own. I have nothing to do with that. So you're just making up lies.
People did not have a change of heart, and they did within 1 day of each other. And then you run in, then the timeline gets a little fuzzy. And again, I'm not trying to connect too many dots here, but that also implies that the 500th show that we were on, Trisha was already there. I will give her the benefit of the doubt. She was there. She looked flawless. She was perfect.
I'm going to read some that Patricia wrote me. Just will catch up with her kind of recollection of what she's got. She said, Mark went on to quote from Robbie's statement where he wrote he had left the flat earth, but he'd not been paid or compromised in any way. He then read a portion of what Patricia Steer had sent him via Skype a day earlier where she had said the same quote. He claimed that he doesn't know who originally wrote the statement, but he read it a full day later from Patricia Steer. In fact, it was a day earlier. She had signed off by saying her decision to step away from Flat Earth was made on her own free will and that she was not paid, threatened, or compromised in any way. She sent the entire Skype message that ended in that quote to Mark and to DJ, the co host. Later, she was talking to Robbie because they had been friends and kept in touch for years, and he told her that he was going to write a statement about leaving the Flat Earth, and he asked her what she told Mark. She sent Robbie a cut and paste of exactly what she sent to Mark and DJ, and after reading it, Robbie asked if he could borrow the line about not being paid, threatened, or compromised. And Patricia said, sure. Patricia told DJ she'd written that line to Mark because he'd claimed earlier that it was a fact that Jaren had been, sorry, she'd written that line to Mark because he'd claimed earlier that it was a fact Jaren had been not paid but compromised. Okay, sorry. So he had said Jaren had been not paid but compromised. Patricia wanted to make sure that it was clear to Mark that her decision to step away was not because of any payment, threats, or compromise, so she wrote that line. Patricia had asked Mark for proof when they had that conversation, and Mark could not provide any proof regarding Jaren being compromised or threatened. There is no, I told people, you'll know I'm compromised if I come back and say the sun's 93 million miles away, or that, what was the other thing? That we're zooming through space or something, or no, that the moon landing's happened. So I've come back and I have not said those things. So at this point, you can erase that idea. I was not compromised, period. I was down there on my own.
Yeah, so what has he actually said about the sun? All right, let's put this Earth out of the way. The shape, he's already said it's a globe now. I don't know, he changed his perspective, who knows, whatever. Or he's been paid, I don't know. But what does he think about the sun? How does he get around the sun now? Because he just said he don't think it's 93 million miles away. But if you're a glober, that's what the globers think, right? So what do you really think about the sun, Jaren? Where do you think that is? Is it much closer? Is it smaller still? Is it still a small ball? How you just talk about with the flat earth community, right? Underneath the dome, apparently, right? Is it still small in size or is it bigger now? That's something I'd like to know. Does anybody know his thoughts on the sun? Has he spoke about it?
I was not compromised, period. I was down there on my own free will. And it's so crazy because, like, there was nothing said when we were down there. Like, you would think, let's say they're going to fake the sun, they're going to fake something in a studio. They would tell us, like, oh, you can't take pictures over there. Oh, you can't go walk over there. You can't have your
Also, he's uncompromised, he said.
phone. We were not restricted from doing anything. I could have taken a photo.
Nicorette lozenges are clinically proven to stop.
Jaren's got so many adverts. Jaren, what's going on, man? Come on, fix up.
We were not restricted from doing anything. I could have taken a photo of anything at any time. Nobody would stop me. That's not how you run some sort of a trick, some sort of a hoax, some sort of a operation that they're going to fool me and wits it. We're not going to know that they're putting a fake sun. They're passing off laser beam suns. These are the rantings and ravings of crazy people.
Yeah, sorry about if the volume's too low for you folks. I've turned up my volume and YouTube volume, so sorry if it's too low for you to hear. It's do you know what, to be honest, it was a bit too low for me, but for some reason my ears adjusted. I don't know how that's possible, but yeah, sorry in advance.
Laser beam sons. These are the rantings and ravings of crazy people.
It was a great show. Thank you for that.
Oh, sorry, I wanted to finish this. Mark implied that there was some nefarious reason they both had the same line. Earlier the same day, Patricia had spoken on the phone to DJ, and he asked her about that, and she told him that he wanted to use that line because it reflected how Robbie felt, and she told him to go ahead and use it. So DJ knows how they came about. Mark knew DJ knew that, but went ahead on his show and made it something of a nefarious point, as if Patricia and Robbie had been directed to write that line by somebody else pulling the strings like a puppet. So again, they both know that. DJ and Mark are in the knowledge of they've been told that no, it's because he read it, he wanted to say the same thing as me, so he used it. But still, he goes on his show and is acting like there's something going on here.
Did Patricia know that right after that show was over, she was gone? Maybe not, but Jaron did. So if that's the case, hey, you know what? Gold star, great, fantastic, great. If she was doing that out of professional courtesy in showbiz, that happens all the time. Hey, I want to have Mark do a good show, everything. But there was a bit of a disconnect because right after on Friday when she sent me.
Sergeant is freaking out. Be cool, man. Be cool. He is freaking out over here.
The email, which I'm not going to read because I'm not going to give you the soundbite. And she encouraged me to read it on air, which I'm not going to because it sounds basically like a globalist recruitment letter.
It's not a globalist recruitment letter. It's her stating the problems with the flat Earth. So this is the mindset of flat earthers that if somebody's saying there's problems with the flat Earth, then that's a globalist recruitment letter, and it's not worth reading to the audience. So I'm starting to think now that flat earthers are being lied to the point where they don't even know when there is problems with the flat Earth because it's hidden. So no wonder why when I start coming out with these things, people just flipped out and wrote me off completely.
Much more internal things going on within the flat earth community. I see. Speak up or forever hold your peace. Tell us your troubles.
It's because they should have been known. I was saying them on my channel, but maybe channels like this were hiding them. Let me continue reading here. From Patricia, she says, more lies. Mark implied that Patricia had flipped globe before being on his 500 show, which was untrue. Untrue. So that show, although Patricia was having feelings of confusion regarding the Antarctica trip and what it implied, she did the 500 show in honor of Mark out of respect and stepped down soon after. Patricia hadn't flipped to a globe. She just had doubts about the AE map validity after they saw the 24-hour sun and also had seen the rocket video she couldn't explain. She hadn't been told to flip globe by Jaron or Will or Mark, or as Mark implied. She hasn't been paid and will now live off in luxury, as Mark said without proof. She already lives in luxury. Sorry, it's the first time. She already lives in luxury and has for years. Patricia had been saying, what is in the sky doesn't reflect what's going on the ground, and false dichotomy, like most other flat earthers regarding Earth's shape, but one day she just felt repeating this mantra was making her feel wrong. So she started having doubts. So again, it is something that needs to be stopped being said by flat earthers. You are not allowed to make up rules for evidence. You cannot say, oh, we don't look in the sky to show the. It'd be like you saying, we don't look in people's urine to see whether or not they're pregnant. Yes, we do, because it's evidence, and we know that there's certain enzymes in the urine that will tell you whether a girl's pregnant or not. So you can look in the toilet to figure out if a girl's pregnant. You cannot just make up the rule. We don't look in the toilet to see if a girl's pregnant. No, we do, because it provides evidence. The sky provides evidence of where we live. Why is that? It's because the sun has a known orbit. It is known. There's no questions. So if you know the orbit of something in the sky, you can then be handed a map, and if the map matches the observations, then the map is correct. If the map does not match observations, then you don't live on that map. So whoever told you, and I believe it's Dave Weiss again, who just basically switched using something that we used to use. Here's the equivalent of it. This is what they're saying. When they say, hey, we don't look at the lights in the sky to prove the shape of the Earth, what they're saying is the lights in the sky prove the sphere, so we don't accept that. That's what they say. The evidence from the sky proves the Earth's a sphere. Why would we use that? We're flat earthers. We don't use that. That's what they're doing. Should that be allowed? Should we be allowed to say we don't look? You know, it's like somebody saying we don't look at the saliva on a cigarette to prove the murder.
But it's only, well, David Wise, I think's doing that with his app apparently. It's a, it's a celestial globe app, right? But he's a flat earther.
Allowed to say we don't look. You know, it's like somebody saying we don't look at the saliva on a cigarette to prove the murderer of this crime. Yeah, we do, because there's DNA on it, and the DNA can actually pick out one person that could be guilty. So we do that. You don't just get to make up a rule where you're like, we don't look at cigarettes DNA to figure out the murderer of a crime. Yes, you do. It's evidence. Why would we ignore evidence? There's no rule that says that, oh, you can't look at. And again, where that came from, just so people recognize, we used to say that because somebody would say the sun is a sphere, the moon is a sphere, therefore we live on a sphere. Now, at that point, you can say, no, that doesn't follow. That's a non sequitur. It doesn't follow. You can't look at things in the sky at their shape and say we live.
Turn a good day into a great day, into the best day ever. Deliveroo now just got even better.
You can't look at things in the sky
I just want to hear Lisbeth, Jaren. Come on, get to it, bro. Come on.
at their shape and say we live on that shape. That's not what they're doing. What we're doing is saying the known orbit of the sun has to jive. It's an observation, and it has to jive with the map, or else the map is wrong. The sun's not wrong. The sun is doing a known orbit, staying above a known tropic, doing it in 24 hours. We know that. That's everything is based on the damn sun, from your clocks to your watches, sundials. I mean, you name it. Seasons, as far as growing season, vegetable, all that stuff. There's
But it wasn't always, right? Everything was in sync with the moon. That was the first calendar, the lunar calendar before the sun, right? So let's not leave that part out, Jaren. Right? All right.
seasons, as far as growing season, vegetable, all that stuff. There's so many things that are done because of the sun, because it's a timepiece. So we can use lights in the sky to determine the shape of the ground. Stop saying shit that makes you sound ridiculous. You don't get to make up rules to evidence. Just because you're a flat earther, you don't get special pleading, you don't get special rules.
Uh-oh.
Imagine if the sun proved the flat earth. Do you think they would say, yeah, it does prove the flat earth, but we don't look at lights in the sky and decide the shape of the ground? Of course not. So this is like basically fourth graders or something arguing over some stupid thing. I mean, that's the kind of thing that would be said, no, you can't tag me on, I'm not it because I was on this rock, Well, who said, you came up with that rule? So it's kind of the same thing. They're just making up shit. We say here, we'll continue this line. Patricia had been saying, what is in the sky doesn't reflect what's on the ground, and false dichotomy, which is another thing that's a problem. A false dichotomy means there's another option. We'll continue this line. Patricia had been saying, what is in the sky doesn't reflect what's on the ground, and false dichotomy, which is another thing that's a problem. A false dichotomy means there's another option. There are two options: sphere Earth, flat Earth. Sphere Earth, AE flat Earth. That's it. If you think it's a false dichotomy, you need to provide a third option, and nobody's ever had one of those.
Yes, there's always been a third option. There's always been a hollow earth. If there's been a flat earth, there's been a hollow earth. Let's not forget that. Let's not try and wiggle that one out, right? Like there's not a third option. Let me take that back a second.
Another option. There are reflect what's on the ground. We say here, we'll continue this line. Patricia had been saying, what is in the sky doesn't reflect what's on the ground, and false dichotomy, which is another thing that's a problem. A false dichotomy means there's another option. There are two options: sphere Earth.
Yeah, sphere earth, and there's the other earth, another sphere, but they live on the inside. See, one lives on the outside and one lives on the inside, right? Not flat earth. They know it's hollow earth.
Flat Earth. False dichotomy means there's what is in the sky doesn't reflect what's on the ground, and false dichotomy, which is another thing that's a problem. A false dichotomy means there's another option. There are two options: sphere Earth, flat Earth. Sphere Earth, AE flat Earth.
See, AE flat Earth. See, for a flat earther to not even acknowledge hollow Earth, right? That speaks volumes, in my opinion. Because the hollow earthers acknowledge the flat Earth, but it's never the other way around. Never the other way around. It's like they don't get into the Hitler part of it, right? The Black Sun, the inner Earth occult, and all of that stuff. That's more evidence that people should be talking about. Jeremy was just talking about evidence, right? Evidence. Hitler, big evidence. Nazis, big evidence. Black Sun, big evidence. Inner Earth, Hollow Earth, big evidence. But they don't touch on those things. I don't know. Even the swastika, the symbol, that's a sacred symbol that ties back into the ancient, back into Agartha or is it Shambhala, one of those two. I can't remember right now. It might be Shambhala, right? But that's all tied into the Hollow Earth. That's what those boys was a part of, you know, Hitler and those folks and whoever else was a part of that round table. That's where Lisbeth came from. That's where she came from. This is where she came from. This is where she come from. Look, Hollow Earth. This is Hollow Earth. Right here. Hollow Earth is the eye. All right. This is where she come from. She come to pull people away from that into the flat Earth community, in my opinion. She even got a dog in the picture. This is where she come from. Came from Hollow Earth.
Flat Earth. Sphere Earth, AE flat Earth. That's it.
An AE flat Earth. He's saying that's it. AE flat Earth. What he says goes, right? What they say goes. Ha. AE flat Earth. That's it.
If you think it's a false dichotomy, you need to provide a third option, and nobody's ever had one of those.
Yeah, there's always been a third option. Believe that. There's always been a. Why don't they ever talk about the stuff that? I can't believe it. This is wild. Mm-mm.
Because there's nothing else. What are you going to do? How are the continents going to be laid out on something else? They cannot be. Okay. And one other thing I wanted to bring up that I forgot to mention on that sphere model that we were playing with, it would be impossible if we lived anywhere else to map it onto a globe and it match observations. Again, one more time. It would be impossible. You can do projectionist. You can have a flat world and you could say, hey, Mr. Projectionist, Mr. Mapmaker, can you please project this flat ground onto that sphere? They would be able to do it. Yep, we can do it mathematically. Great. Now, how are they going to make that new sphere, which is fake? They don't actually live there, they live on a flat Earth. How are they going to make the sun going around the flat Earth jive with the observations on the sphere? It's impossible. You cannot lie to people about where they live unless nobody cares about
Hold on,
observations.
say that back.
Sphere, which is mathematically great. Maker, can you please project this flat ground onto that maker? Can you please project this flat ground onto that sphere? They would be able to do it. Yep, we can do it mathematically. Great. Now, how are they going to make that new sphere, which is fake? They don't actually live there, they live on a flat Earth. How are they going to make the sun going around the flat Earth jive with the observations on the sphere? It's impossible. You cannot lie to people about where they live unless nobody cares about observations. But people do care about observations. In fact, it's how boats went around. It's
Mr. Vegas.
He's really selling this sun little optic illusion. He's really selling it. Really selling it. He's using that card because I've seen it. There's no going back. That's a wild one. He's an actor boy. I don't know whether I believe these actor boys. That's no. Mm. I don't know, but like I said, it's a strange one because look now he's a globie, right? So you're thinking, flat earthers are like, oh, I don't know, he's a globie. You can't really trust him now. He's denounced it. He's no going back for him. He's a globie. So flat earthers are like, no, staying away from him, right? But then you've got the Zetetic astronomy, right? They also wrote about the sun down there, right? And those were, more or less flat earthers that was going against it. Well, did they see it for their own eyes? Apparently they did. So if they seen it as well, and Jaren, who who we believe in, or who are we not believing? I don't know. That's wild. I need help with that one. Oh, muted.
That's the weird thing here is it just seems like traveling long observations, but people do care about observations. In fact, it's how boats went around. It's everything was with the sun, traveling longitude, latitude, all that comes from it. So that's the weird thing here is it just seems like what flat earth has become is this like a stubborn kid that you can't get to leave your house. Okay? There is no place at scientific discussions.
Yeah, he's not wrong there. Some of them are stubborn. They're stubborn. He's not wrong. I don't know whether that's in the script that every flat earther have to be stubborn. Or the leaders at that much anyway. At the moment, I used to think it was Bro Sanchez. But when I come across Karen B, he was like, woo, this is a feisty one. Stubborn. Woo.
Okay. There is no place at scientific discussions for ideas that have no map, no model, no explanations, no predictions. That's what the final experiment did. Who would have thought that the final experiment would become the final experiment? We all had problems with the name.
Nah, he's rubbing it in your faces. He's rubbing it in the face. He said, who would have thought the final experiment is the final experiment? He's saying there's nothing else to come after that. Pack up, go home, pack up, figure it out. Don't want nobody else doing no experiments. We figured it out. Believe us, go home, pack up. It is what it is. Right? That's what they're saying, essentially. So that is wild. Take that back.
No model, no explanations, no predictions. That's what the final experiment did. Who would have thought that the final experiment would become the final experiment?
Ugh.
We all had problems with the name of it. Even I had a problem with the name of it. I don't know about final. I don't believe in proof. But I do believe that something can be falsified and falsified like a little bitch. And that's what happened to the flat earth. I feel responsible for some of that we all kind of closed our eyes to things and kind of thought, oh, it'll come along, we'll figure it out, we'll talk about it. But nobody was doing any work. Nobody was doing anything at all. They were just continuing. And I think that one of the reasons might be back in the day when we used to do videos, if you remember 2015, 2016, there was no such thing as live streaming. Okay. So you used to have to research, put together a nice quality video, and then release that video, and it was filled with information and people liked it, and that's what was a good time in the YouTube days. When live streaming came along, people all
Here I am. Yes, thank you. Welcome and thank you. I'm aware. Somebody told me that before about the volume. I tried to turn it up through my audio and through the YouTube audio, but this is the best, the loudest it excuse me, it can go. So yeah, we're gonna have to bear with this at the moment. So excuse me. My apologies in advance.
That's what was a good time in the YouTube days.
Balls and tools, much love.
When live streaming came along, people all gave up the research. Why? Because there's no money there. There's nothing there. Just time and not a lot of glory in making videos and doing good research. So instead, everybody does live streams in which they talk about each other and other channels and other things going on. So the ideas of, oh, we'll figure it out. Somebody will figure out how the sun works on a flat earth became who? Who's going to work on that? Who's doing any research? Who's doing any work on that? Not very many people. So, you know, for the flat earth, it's time.
Uh-oh.
Time for it to go. Let's continue.
He said for the flat earth, it's time to go. He was once a flat earther. He was just a flat earther the other day. Now he's just it's fascinating. I mean, it's good to change your mind sometimes, right? But on this occasion, wow. Double wow.
Time for it to go. Let's continue. I'm going to read this. All right. So we started having doubts. So she started having doubts, especially after the community attacked Jaron and Witsit because they'd even gone to Antarctica. After the trip with statements that the sun was out there in Antarctica by Satan, or it was filmed in a giant studio full of LEDs, or the crew had never actually gone to Antarctica, didn't sit right with Patricia.
What
She
did
statements
you
that
say
the
about
sun after
Satan?
the community attacked Jaron. All right. So we started having doubts. So she started having doubts, especially after the community attacked Jaron and Witsit because they'd even gone to Antarctica.
Oh, so that's reading from Patricia, right? He's reading as Patricia. I think it sounds like.
After the trip with statements that the sun was out there in Antarctica by Satan, or it was filmed in a giant studio full
By
of
Satan.
LEDs, or the crew had never actually gone to Antarctica, didn't sit right with Patricia. She felt that they'd gone and seen the sun, not set, but wondered why Dave didn't add a little disclaimer to his app stating that during a certain time of year, the app isn't correct around Antarctica. Also, Mark kept advertising the app on Strange World, and it made her uncomfortable. She asked Mark if the show could stop promoting it for a while until we could get it sorted out. Mark said no. That's a good app.
Oh,
This gave her a feeling of loss of confidence in Mark and the community in general, and she started.
so she didn't want the app getting promoted on the show anymore. And Mark said, I don't care. I'm still doing it. Sorry, not Mark. What's the other guy's name? You know, app man.
This gave her a feeling of loss of confidence in Mark and the community in general, and she started feeling like she
So that's I don't know. Now Patricia's gone. That's wild. Now they got this lady, Lisbeth. Come on, Lisbeth, man. When you gonna start talking? I wanna hear you talk. Come on.
confidence in Mark and the community in general, and she started feeling like she needed to step down from Flat Earth in a private, quiet way without fanfare. She'd long ago removed all AE maps from her re-uploaded videos in her channel.
Ah, so she was already climbing down. She wanted to slip out the back door unnoticed. Okay. Okay. Why not? You don't want to make a fuss. You want to just slide out quickly, right? I can understand that. But look what it's doing now, right?
She'd long ago removed all AE maps from her re-uploaded videos in her channel. Yes. Which part did you want? Correct. Yes. So even though he applied that she did know about it in the 500 show, she said she was starting to think about it, but she didn't know it, never made that decision yet. What is this? Oh boy. Sorry, I just read. No, some of these things. Because what I asked Patricia, I said, "Can you just give me an idea?" Because rather than go through the entire video, I just said, "Can you write some of the things that we picked out that were not truth?" So she was just saying, "Now that'll start a whole conspiracy, but it's fine." basically, I asked her for this because it helps me to go through it. This one's tomorrow. Okay, good. Mark lied, said that Duffy is doing a second documentary with MC Toon. That is not true. Also, after Patricia sent her letter to Mark on Skype, he never responded. And what she wrote, and he cut contact. So yeah, that's basically the story there. Okay, we'll watch a little bit more here because there are some things. So another thing, this is bothersome to me. I think what must happen is that it's a possibility that Dave Weiss pays Mark Sargent to run his ad. Okay, why would anybody, after being told that the entire flat Earth community's information,
Why would you say that? Mark Sargent is running the app for Dave White. Why would you say that? What possessed you to even think that? This okay.
okay, why would anybody, after being told that the entire flat Earth community's information has been compromised and is leaking data, why would you continue to promote the app? How would you not care about it being secure?
That's true. Yeah. Why would you do that? Why would you even do that? Yeah. You say, hey, shut it down. Hey, people, stop promoting it, until we figure it out. Keep things safe, right? But no. Keep promoting it and tell people to download it. No, that's not the right thing to do. That's not the right thing to do.
Data. Why would you continue to promote the app? How would you not care about it being secure prior to?
I'm looking at chat.
Meetups in several different ways. Sort by date.
So he continued, and this is Patricia's thing. She said, well, the map is not correct anymore. The map's been debunked. So can we not sell the app? And he said, no, it's a good app, even though it's leaking data. And he's basically, so how much do you get paid, Mark, to sell out the Flat Earth community's data? Is my question. Because it's still not secure today. In fact, MC Toon is supposedly doing some presentation at NASA where he's talking about the fact that this app has been opened for months. And it's one of those things where, you think you'd be able to go to Apple and say, hey, this app that you are putting on your store is not securing people's data, but I think that they've tried that and they're not getting anywhere. So now they actually have to give a presentation rather than just Weiss recognize that it's important. And here's the thing, if he doesn't care about my livelihood, he doesn't care about saying that I'm being paid off, which actually puts me in danger, doesn't care about my address being leaked, and I've been a friend for 10 years, why would he give a shit about any of you? If you think he cares about your data, but just doesn't care that mine got leaked, that doesn't make sense, right? So if I'm his friend and he doesn't care that my data got leaked, never said he's sorry, not once, then why?
100% medical grade.
Jerem, man. You're killing me with the adverts, Jerem, bro. Come on, man. Let me watch this in peace. Wow.
That my data got leaked, never said he's sorry, not once, then why would he care about your data? And the answer is it doesn't seem that he does. Oops. What happened?
Back on this. You ready? So Will Duffy goes off on this tear. He starts naming names, which I'm doing now. He's naming names, right? Jared and Robbie Davidson and Rose 777. By the way, Rose, if you're listening to this, you might want to get ahead of that because Will Duffy's telling everybody you've been flipped. And
Hold on.
he's naming names.
Did he say Rose?
He's naming names, right? Jared and Robbie Davidson and Rose 777. By the way, Rose, if you're listening to this, you might want to get ahead of that because Will.
Woo! Rosie! Rosie! Yo! Gunshot, fire shot, but. What? Rose, I forgot about that one there. Apparently she's back. See what happens when you come back, Rose? You see what happens when you come back, Rose? Okay. You get dragged into the whirlwind, huh? What has Rose got to do with this? It's the influence. They influence the field, right? The 777. Woo! That they influence the field. The 777. Oh Lord.
Right, Jared and Robbie Davidson and Rose 777. By the way, Rose, if you're listening to this, you might want to get ahead of that because Will Duffy's telling everybody you've been flipped. And so far, he's batting 1,000. No offense to Rose. I love you, dear. I've spent time with you. But you got to get ahead of this because Will's telling everybody you're gone. And if you're not gone, you got to settle this one way or the other.
You got to settle this one way or the other. You cannot be in the middle. You got to have. You better pick a team here. Are you in the cult or are you out of the cult? We need to know right now. You better get ahead of this. What's going on with the cult? Are you in the cult? Yeah.
Yeah. You're in the cult, you're out the cult. You're in the cult, you're out the cult. Oh Lord. Easy now, Jaron.
Funny stuff.
And thank you, DJ, for mentioning that. Here's why I know this because Ravi loves social media.
Let me go back here. We're just
Okay,
see what we
so
missed.
I guess
And I believe that. And by the way, I believe that with every one of them. And let's address that, which is, and I typed this to you guys in chat at one point. Just because you turned someone doesn't mean you can make them believe in it, right? You can have them say everything you want, right? You can dress them up and make them act in a certain way, but to have them believe it in their heart, good luck. That's impossible. Which is why Robbie Davidson, by the way, if you want to like celebratetruth.org, which he had to tear down. Oh, sorry. Let's get to the finer points of that. I watched Robbie Davidson. Okay, first off, Jaron has been burning. Okay, let's
I think he's
do
like
Jaren
flipping
part.
out.
I know. Well, my head's
Mm.
going like in 6 different directions.
yeah,
Which
take
is-
your time. You got this.
All right, so Jaron.
That's what I said earlier. He's losing it. He's spazzing out, like he's going nuts. So excuse me, I'm having some hummus and crisps. So yeah, excuse me. But yeah, he's spazzing out. He's losing it.
I think he's like flipping out.
I know. Well, my head's going like in 6 different
Salute to the grand old chat room. Much love.
directions.
Yeah,
Which
take your
is-
time. You got this.
All right, so Jaron has been burning.
Your head's going in 6 different directions because you're not just being honest with people. Like I said, Robbie, step down, read his statement if you want to do that. Patricia, step down. She's a host on the show and has been for years. So why not just read her statement and let her go, like she said, without fanfare? Instead, you've turned this into some sort of conspiracy again, rather than just take things for the way that they are. There's nobody who's colluded with me, pushed me at all. There's simply my own headstrongness or whatever you want to call it, my own inability to see evidence for what it was. I
Okay.
don't know what it was about the trip, other than it seemed that it kept hitting on every point. The globe kept getting proven. I got back in the plane. We were flying back to Dallas or whatever it was that we flew to, and I watched the sun and it just I understood it finally. And I said, "Oh shit! I mean, the sun does everything. The sun explains everything. God gave us His one and only Son to be the guiding light. And if you pay attention to the sun, you can know where you live. Now, if you have a flat Earth belief and you don't care about anything else, and you know the Earth's flat because it can't be a sphere, then you're going to make up whatever excuse you can, and you're going to say things like, "We don't look at lights in the sky. It's just that we don't look at it's an apparent position. It's a multiple position. It's apparent. They use a mean sun in the globe, so we can use an apparent sun." No, it's all garbage. The flat Earth cannot predict anything. So let's drop it. Now the problem is I don't have flat earthers listening to me anymore. So how do we get this information to them? Well, it'd be helpful if people like Mark would, if he really cared about the truth, you would give out the truthful information. You wouldn't hide things from people and try to keep the cult going with as little damage to it as possible.
Down his channel. I know I defended him. I know I made videos and I made the quick joke about, hey, you haven't seen Jaron driving a new BMW. Boy, that came back to bite me, but in a completely different fashion. And Jaron,
Huh?
but and now Jaron is, oh no, he is absolutely gone. He is compromised in no unquestioning terms.
I mean, what do you think this does for my belief in flat Earth? If we've got this guy, he's compromised in no unquestioning terms. Mark's so smart that he knows I'm compromised, but I'm not. So now this is the same thing we heard from RV when he would say, Jaron's a shill, 100% guaranteed.
No, RT, I wasn't aware of that. They dropped the 777. What? Is that for real? Yeah. Brand name because all the drama. Okay. Interesting. Thanks for the info.
So now this is the same thing we heard from RV when he would say, Jaron's a shill, 100% guaranteed. Well, now I don't listen to RV anymore. You're not going to tell people that you're 100% sure of something that I know is not true because you just ruined your reputation with me. Same thing with.
Was RV calling Jaren a shill before the experiment? No, that's the thing. Was these people calling you shills before the experiment, Jaren? Or is it just recently, since the experiment? I don't know. I don't know with you people. I don't know.
100% sure of something that I know is not true because you just ruined your reputation with me. Same thing with Eric Dubay, Flip Flopper Dubay. Somebody who has a book, 200 proofs. We say we're going down to Antarctica, and he goes, "Oh, well, you know, a couple of those aren't actually. I mean, it could be any. It doesn't matter. It doesn't make a difference. But your proofs don't make. Okay. Then we come back, and he flips that to, oh no, it's fake. So these are just fly by day, fly by night, do whatever they want. Kind of nobody cares. They're just whatever. And those are the people that should be demonized. Instead, that guy's put up on a platform. Somebody like me that goes down and tells you the truth and sticks to my story from day one.
All right. Listen, that Eric Dubay situation, Eric not going, I think that's a wrong move. Right? As much as people say they shouldn't go, right? Turn it down. I think that's a wrong move because it leaves us in this position now, right? Because certain people chose to not go, right? It leaves the waters very murky now. When all you had to do was go. Or let's say you couldn't go, either way it was rigged. Either way you was chose not to, you was told not to, accept it. Who knows? Was it meant to go this way? Was it meant to even go this way? Was it meant to go exactly how it's going? Maybe Eric Dubai is in on it as well. Who knows? I don't know. But what if he is not in on it, right? Well, all for the fact of what? Because you think it's flat, so you're not gonna go. This is, I don't know. I wouldn't say once in a lifetime, but it's for the greater cause, and it's free, right? And it's somewhat of research. Don't you want to add that to your archive to say, yeah, I went over there, seen it? You could be mentioning the next zetetic astronomy, to some degree. That's how it goes. You went over there, you've seen it for yourself, you're a flat earther, blah, blah, blah. You go down in history, right? The great Eric Dubay, 200 proofs the earth is flat, right? Don't you want to add that to your artillery? Or you good on that? Are you good on the 200 proofs? You're eating off that, right? You don't need no more. Or is there more? That's the thing. I've heard flat earthers say we shouldn't go because we know it. We know the luminaries doesn't. Well, forget all that. Go over there and see. We can all talk big from the computer and say, "Yeah, I didn't go," or "You shouldn't go," blah blah blah. But we really should be going. To some people, it's once in a lifetime. Some people don't even get to leave their continent or leave their house or leave wherever the case may be. There's some people that's never left their zip code, area code, or whatever. They've never left. They can't afford it. But you get offered to go somewhere to go and see the sun, and you turn that down. You turn that down, right? I don't know. I wouldn't have turned it down. If I was a flat earther, I wouldn't have turned it down, regardless of people saying, it doesn't tell us the shape of the earth. So, but it tells us many other things that, the sun's going in reverse down there. Who knows? Is it real? Is it not? I don't know. But how could that be possible on a flat earth, as they would say, right? So you gotta go and see it for yourself, just to see what the whole palaver's about. That's what Eric Debay should have done, in my opinion. So I don't know.
That guy's put up on a platform. Somebody like me that goes down and tells you the truth and sticks to my story from day one, where I said, no, we've all known that the 24-hour sun does not work on a flat earth. We've known that for 10 years.
So that's what I'm saying. It makes me think, which one is the shill out of these two? Is it Eric or is it Jaren? Right? Is it Eric or is it Jaren? Which one is the shill? Which one is the shill? Is it Eric or Jaren at this point? One of them don't want to go because of what he thinks he's too big to go. Too much of a YouTube celebrity star. I don't know. One of them went, apparently. I just wish a flat earther would have went. I really do. I bet at times like this now, some of you are thinking, oh, I wish a flat earther really could have went. But is this how it was supposed to go anyway? Just actors and globies going, no flat earthers. There was never going to be a flat earther there. They would never allow it.
One, where I said, no, we've all known that the 24-hour sun does not work on a flat earth. We've known that for 10 years. If I go down and see the sun circle my head for 4 days, I will come back and say that the earth conforms to a sphere or that all observations match the sphere model. I went down there, saw exactly that, and came back and said exactly that. Heaven forbid, now you're going to tell people that I'm compromised and that this and this bullshit. That sounds to me like you're protecting the cult. People should be allowed to change their decision. And if they take the things I say and use that to change, then you should allow them to do that. I'm somebody who's done this for 10 years. If anybody knows flat earth, the ins and outs of it, it's me.
If you're a content creator of any kind, you need to check out Motion Array. My name is Paul, filmmaker
No,
and
Jerome. Don't make adverts, Jerome. Let me eat my hummus in peace, bro.
If anybody knows flat earth, the ins and outs of it, it's me. It's not Dave Weiss who makes up whatever theory he wants on the whim. I'm showing people that a rocket that takes off from 175 miles away from me doesn't appear on my horizon till 1 minute and 5 seconds after it launched. Where was the rocket for 1 minute and 5 seconds? Dave Weiss comes out with a video saying, here's where the rocket is for 1 minute and 5 seconds, and makes a claim that 20,000 foot high clouds all congeal down to the horizon line and hide the rocket until it's above 20,000 feet. I don't know if I said feet or miles, I meant 20,000 feet. Here's the problem with that idea. All you have to do is just think, well, let's see here. So at 175 miles away, the 20,000 foot clouds all go down and become so slivered, just a little slit. They're like the line of the horizon, and that blocks the rocket behind it. So somebody want to explain to me why other things that are 175 miles, like Canigoo, are seen? Canigoo is only 9,000 feet tall. That's weird. Shouldn't the 20,000 foot clouds all congeal down to the horizon and hide the entire mountain behind it? That's what Dave Weiss is saying, that the rocket is behind the clouds. Then Canigoo must be twice as deep behind the clouds. He's making shit up. If we go look at that video, I actually want to do that right now.
He's making shit
video, what do
up.
you think the chances are that any flat earther says you're wrong, Dave? Or do you think that they're all such cult members that they're going to be like, you got him, you nailed Jaron, you proved it. You proved it so well, Dave. Look at you prove it. Let's see. Let's see Dave prove it. Let's see what
I know I made videos.
I want to have high aspirations. I want to hope that the people actually say, Dave, this doesn't work. We can look at the buildings across Lake Michigan in Chicago. They're 1,800 feet tall. They're not blocked by 20,000 foot clouds.
But perceives it as his horizontal eye zone or horizon.
Okay.
The heliocentric.
I mean, he's just making things up. He's sitting down going, what do I need to say to get so people in the flat earth just believe me? Well, why does a person watching a rocket from 180 miles away see the rocket come up from the horizon much later than somebody watching up close, like 1 minute and 5 seconds? It's because, I don't even know what this picture is.
Now let's take a look on what it would look like from far away if perspective did not exist.
So this is what it would look like if perspective did not exist. So the clouds are blocking. What about somebody close? They also see the clouds? It's such garbage. It's such garbage. Let's read on here and see what we get.
Such garbage.
Weird how clouds are always behind the buildings across Lake Michigan and just make up 20,000 feet. That's some honesty right there. So for 1 minute and 5 seconds, the rocket exists in vanish land. What if there's no clouds on that day? Laser beam fake rockets? Satan holds it down. Where's the 20,000 foot clouds reduced to zero at Canigoo? Canigoo is 175 miles away and is 9,000 feet tall. So according to your bullshit made up answer, Canigoo should, sorry, I had to reach over there. Canigoo should be the size of the horizon. You're getting dumber and dumber. Maybe get Marty Leeds to tell you how faking the sun is easier than faking a rocket launch. Desperation Dave will go to any lengths, even lying about friends, to save his ass, I mean app. Dave, why are there 1,800-foot buildings seen across in Chicago? That 20K foot cloud deck should cover them. Do you even think anymore? Appears not. Nanobots are coming to get me. Let's see what we get from these people. Apparently, when you become a Glober, you instantly forget how everything works and how all arguments you've been making for the last 12 years work. Look at that. So this person has bought into Dave and thinks that they debunked me. Yep, apparently when you become a Glober, you forget how things work. No, I know how things work. I'm not making shit up that you just believe because you're a flat earther. Was hoping this Jaren proof would get covered. I watched fireworks from 4 miles away. They looked like they were a foot off the ground. I was following Jaren maybe 9-10 years ago for all the conspiracy theories, way before I discovered Flat Earth Dave. For some unexplained reason, I never liked Jaren. His whole attitude, voice, manner of speaking had the second layer of some energy that repels. I have extra sensitivity to speech and body language. Another.
Yo, bro, they're trying to cook you over there, man. Oh, God. That's hilarious.
Energy that repels. I have extra sensitivity to speech and body language. Another body language expert. Without even studying it. Oh, wow. Wow, that's impressive, man. People who have gone to school must be really jealous of you. And it always appears, I'm sorry, and it always recognizes lies and deception. I'm sure we don't even need lie detector tests. Let's get this guy. We'll call it the Jiranek test. Are you willing to take a Jiranek test? Because that's the true determination. I hate the Wikipedia bar below the description, scoundrels. I hope Jaren wakes up. It's sad for me to see him not realize what he's doing. Yeah, I'm giving you evidence. You asked for evidence of the curvature of the Earth. I said, oh, that's weird. I remember seeing that rocket in my backyard, and we went and rewound it. We're like, wait, it doesn't drive. It seems like we see it way too late. And then I said, well, let me go film one and see what happens. People have already said, they're like, oh, you're just doing an affirming the consequent. I said, no. Let me tell you what I did. I found out when there would be a...
Chess grandmasters use Klarna to pause their payment if there's an issue with
Oh, yeah.
Just doing an affirming the consequent. I said, no. Let me tell you what I did. I found out when there would be a launch. By the way, there's a launch on Friday night, 7 o'clock after my show. I'm going to go film that. The night ones are better. I tried filming a day one the other day. And do you guys know, for everybody who thinks rocket launches are fake, because that's the line that you're going to hear from Mark Sargent in a little bit, that they are now launching about 320 rockets a year. Does that sound like something that's fake to you? Do you really think if you're going to fake rocket launches, wouldn't you launch 6 a year? No, let's step it up to 320. Well, let's just fake it 320 times, because that makes sense. It's like people cannot think anymore. Given that sunsets are affected by 6,000 miles of cloud deck, I was wondering how 177 miles of clouds would affect what is observed about rocket launches. What I like about Dave is he takes a topic that can seem quite difficult to explain to lay people and make it quite obvious. This is another such case. Thanks, Dave. Appreciate it. I mean, this is a problem. And I think the sad part is, and I've known this, and I remember telling some people, I'm like, you know what? People trust me so much, I could really say anything, and they would believe me. And that was the truth. Flat Earth had gotten to the point where I was like, I just need to say something about Flat Earth, and they'll believe me. I never did it. I'm not trying to lie to people, but I knew that. And so I think people have realized that, and they're now taking advantage of it. Dave, I have what some people may think is a ridiculous question, but I thought that maybe you can explain it. For Purple Mountain's majesty, it's true.
You hear that? You say anything about flat Earth, and then zealots will go crazy. They go crazy for the flat Earth stuff. You give them anything flat Earth, even if it's recycled, they go nuts for it, boy. Like a dog trying to eat a slice of, bacon or something. They love it. They love it.
Dave, I have what some people may think is a ridiculous question, but I thought that maybe you can explain it. For Purple Mountain's majesty, it's true. I've always wondered why in the distance our hillsides and mountains appear purple, but it doesn't show up in large images we are shown from above our atmosphere. I asked a science teacher this question. Okay, I don't know what that's talking about. Whoever wrote the paper gets A+ and a gold star. Wow. Thanks. How does TFE disprove flat Earth? Oh, let's read this. I'm sure there's some good stuff here. It doesn't. Right, good answer. It doesn't, but it's the path of the sun from September to March does debunk the A.E. Gleason's projection ice wall cosmology theory. Okay, so vegan flat Earth. Just so you know, that that's the only map there'll ever be. So you, sir, welcome to the globe. Welcome to the globe. That's not a proven fact until the rat is trapped. Amen. This whole thing about Robbie Davidson is very strange. He's now a glober and not a Christian anymore. Nobody ever. Why does he say that? People just make up shit. Ever found a slope on oceans must be exciting. They don't understand. We explained it many times. They don't care. David, your voice is so different. Brilliant. Okay. It's not brilliant. It's made up. Thank you, Dave. I love you, brother. Is anyone working on a practical demonstration of the sun? We don't do that. We don't have models. We don't worry about that. We just say we don't have a model. We don't make claims. Don't you know this? Thought you knew. Jaren is a clown. Thank you very much. Red on rocket launcher. Yeah, I can see why you call me a clown, because I'm just destroying your belief. I don't know why you can't just suck it up. We're not always right. Sometimes we're wrong. And when you're wrong, the correct thing to do is to say, my bad, I was wrong. But no, instead people are going to just pretend like, I mean, if you didn't know this, flat earthers are so smart, they cannot be wrong. Pretty impressive. I still don't understand gravity or buoyancy. Thank you, Byron. Sincerely, good video, Dave. Did you see Jaren's 8 proofs of the globe episode? I think it was his number 3 proof where he said that the sun goes in the opposite direction, west to east. No, I never said that. Oh, boy. In the southern hemisphere, and that the sun makes a left turn on the Tropic of Capricorn. Not right, as it should appear on the AE model. Right. This should be really easy to confirm or debunk, as millions live south of the Tropic of Capricorn. Correct. Jaren does make a couple of interesting points in that episode, but I wanted to hear your thoughts on his 8 proofs, especially the sun turning left of the Tropic of Capricorn. Thank you very much, Jeremy Miller. Guess what? You just proven to yourself that the Earth is not flat and is in fact a sphere. So what we should see is if flat earthers would actually have some fucking balls, stand up for yourselves and say, I was wrong. Time to move towards the truth. There's a few of us now. You can reach out and talk to, there's Nick Havoc, myself, Robbie. I mean, there's others. And a lot of people do not feel safe coming out yet. That's it. Oh, wait, let's see what this guy's answers. Let's see what the answers are. Flatzoid even documented the winter solstice sun in South Africa rising at an angle from low right to high left. Correct. Yes, but it's still east to west, see compass. Yeah, I never said it went opposite direction. It goes backwards, meaning that it goes right to left when you're in the southern circle, and it goes left to right when you're in the northern circle. It's always going to be east to west. That's the way it goes. Yes, still east to west, but path of Tropic of Capricorn turning away from the north towards the south. Correct, because only a globe can explain that. If you called someone directly north of you that lived on the Tropic of Capricorn, they will tell you the sun behaves as expected. What? If you called somebody directly north of you that lived on the Tropic of Capricorn, so they live in the south on the Tropic, okay, they'll tell you the sun, what do you mean as expected? It is the sun in the Antarctic that doesn't behave as you expect. No, the sun sets, as we showed you, right to left.
Turn a good day into a...
Bloody hell.
Sun in the Antarctic that doesn't behave as you expect. No, the sun sets, as we showed you, right to left. Why is it going right to left? It has to go left to right. It's got to get over to Australia. Here's how easy it is. When we were in Antarctica, picture the flat Earth map if you could. We were in Antarctica looking south. You know what that means? We were looking into nothingness. We were looking into the abyss. It's the end of the flat Earth map. And guess what we saw there? The sun. When we called people and said, hey, where's the sun? People in Australia said, it's above our heads. Well, that seems weird. It's above your heads. We're looking at it to our south. Is there any model that says that the sun would be over there and that Australia would be underneath it over there? Well, that's right. There's a model called the sphere. End of story. There is no more question. This should be done.
Excuse me. The end of story. That's it. Pack up, go home. You heard the man. But something don't add up. Something don't add up. Are these people upside down while they're filming all of this?
That's right. There's a model called the sphere. End of story. There is no more question. This should be done. We should all be thanking Will Duffy for ending a 10-year spiral into Kagada land. Mierda land. Now, is it a psyop? Part of me still thinks yes. Part of me thinks that there's no reason why the 2 times that they had an opportunity to prove the globe, both times were faked. Stephen Hawking faked his experiment. Nat Geo faked their experiment. Behind the Curve faked my experiment. So I understand flat earthers. Let's get past that point. Just because these dirtballs fake their tests doesn't mean that we can't know for ourselves without their help the shape of the earth. Now, I've already voiced my opinion. I'm talking to that guy, John Tiller from the Ars Technica, and I've already told him now that he's come to the conclusion that they did fake that test. I said, you need to contact PBS. They need to go back. They need to do it again. You cannot lie. You cannot be science and lie to people and then wonder, oh, why? What causes this inability to maintain a? What does he say? What causes this stubborn refusal to accept reality? You're faking science. Okay. Am I saying flat earthers have been the utmost respectable people? No, but I'm saying if you're wondering why there are flat earthers or why people deny science, it might have something to do with the 2 times you had an opportunity to prove the shape of the earth to the world and you chose to lie.
What is he saying? Flat earthers deny science? Is that what he's really saying? Okay. He's saying flat earthers deny science. Whose science though? Huh?
That's on you. That's on you. Okay. I don't understand. If the sun is in the Antarctic, that doesn't behave as you expect. However, in my opinion, there's only one real sun. Think about rainbows. There are visible objects, but not tangible. Correct. There's only one sun. People all want to say there's 2 suns. What if there's the 3 suns? We got DJ saying that. Like, what's wrong with people believing in 2 suns? What do you mean there's never been 2 suns filmed? If you're talking about like a little.
Oh, is that what DJ said? Okay. When he's saying DJ, is he talking about DJ Curious? I wonder. Okay. 2 sons, 3 sons. Yep. The Dogon spoke about 3 sons. The Trinity, the Sun Trinity, I think it was called. But yeah, 3 sons, 2 sons. I don't know. I have seen one model when it's projecting. It looks like 2 suns, possibly 3. Could be 3, but either 2 or 3 suns on this model. That's the Crater Earth model, that flat Earth model, the Square Society. That's projecting 3 suns. I don't know whether it's showing movements or it's literally projecting 3 suns. But salute to the chat room. Much love. I see some folks down there. I see CC in the building. I see Ants in the building. I see my man GA in the building. Much love.
Little flare or a little lens flare next to the sun. I'm talking about at no time in the history of the world has anyone filmed 2 suns, zoomed into both of them, and they both have sunspots. It's never happened. So I'm pretty sure if we're looking for evidence, the thing that has never happened, there's no evidence of, probably is not the case. Okay. So I guess that's it. So it's not as bad as I thought. I thought there'd be a lot more people saying glory, glory be, glory A, glory B. I don't see anybody saying that. Thank goodness, because it would upset me. It would upset me. So let me just tell you, it's not that bad in Globeville. Okay, now you don't have to then say, I feel like I'm on a globe. I don't feel like I'm on a globe. I think the globe is counterintuitive. I think that it's a little bit strange. I think that hanging on nothing on a globe is very strange. I think having down be the center of a sphere is very strange. It doesn't mean that it's false. The evidence is there. Why would you go against the evidence for your own whims and fancies? Come over to the globe side. We hang out on Fridays and we just
Yo!
All right. So anyway.
Oh shit! No way! No way! Hold on, take that back. He hit you folks with the big pin. Yo! Cold. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. What is he doing? Okay.
Whims and fancies. Come over to the globe side. We hang out on Fridays and we just hang out. Let's have some good time.
Oh shit! 420. Oh shit!
Globe. All right. So anyway, let's keep going. We've got. I think this is pretty much done. I don't want to harp on about these guys. If you watch this, you'll notice that the entire show is Mark lying.
He has burned down his channel. 1,000 videos are gone. 7.
People know why my channel's gone. People know why my videos are gone. because a certain Bart Cybrell gave me 14 copyrights on in one day and said, I've done 2 takedown strikes. If you don't remove these 14 videos, I'm going to do a third and you're going to lose your channel. So I had a choice to make. Do I just pull down the 2 that he said and leave up all my other videos, which would give YouTube a chance to go in and strike any one of them and my channel will be gone? Or do I take down every video, wait the 3 months or whatever, and then have my channel back and not lose my subs? I chose to.
That's why I said if you're taking it down because you don't want to get strikes, then yeah, so be it. And you know, if it's for a different reason, you know, it might contradict yourself, but it also shows growth. It shows your journey, right? So I don't know. Either way, you can't win.
To not lose my channel. All my videos are still on Odyssey. But Mark, you're just making shit up. Saying like, oh, he burned down his channel, da da da. You're acting like you have some sort of authority or some sort of knowledge here, and you're just lying.
Years worth of content are gone, and he didn't make them private, meaning he burned them down, and that kills your metrics as well. Just so you guys know, if you delete 1 million hits worth of videos, you now lose 1 million hits worth of metrics.
See, but the thing is now, that's what Bro Sanchez done, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure that's the same thing Bro Sanchez done. All of the content got removed. You know, since he's become more of a, seems like a biblical flat earther, right? Christian. This isn't no shot at the Christians, right? But I've just noticed all of the, well, not all of them, but a lot of the prominent figures, they've removed a lot of their content, right? Since they've rejuvenated the flat earth move, or, you know, the globe move.
Metrics.
What are hits and metrics for? Do I get a star or something? I don't understand what I. Oh, I went from 14 million views to 12 million. Now I'll never be able to have sex again. I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
And then your social media just gets screwed up.
My social media gets screwed up because I have 14 million views instead of 16 million.
Wow.
You are out to lunch.
It's not like a high score. So when you go into a channel, it says, oh, 48 million hits, right? It's not like a high score. It doesn't stay there. If you delete the videos, well, then you have less and less. And technically, if you deleted all your videos, it go down to 0.
Right. So what?
I don't know if Jaron knew that. So when he deleted like the first 800 videos, 7 years of his life, just for no apparent reason, his metrics just got shot down.
But what happened? But I don't understand what happens then. Maybe it happens in the future and it's not yet. All right,
the rumor has it, the same inside scoop that gave him the tip that
David Weiss,
that Jaron was already calling the shots, and or at least.
Oh, I'm now calling the shots. Now I'm in charge.
Calling, who was going to go down.
Yeah, I'm calling who's going to go down. This is good to tell people. Tell your whole audience just made up shit about me. Like I don't already have it hard enough. I've been the black sheep of the flat earth since 6 months before the trip because I was the only one willing to be honest while you guys sit here and lie to your audience.
Said that Jaron will eventually, it's just a matter of time. I don't know what the date, I don't know what they're waiting for. Maybe they're waiting for the documentary, but Jaron's channel will eventually just go dark.
What does that mean? Thanks for that prediction. My channel will go dark?
It's just going to...
Yeah, I'm still confused. Like I said, if Jaron's lying about his prediction, is the Zetetic Astronomy also lying about what they witnessed or what they documented? Make it make sense. I don't know.
It's going to be wiped out. Very similar to what Patricia's channel is. Patricia, by the way, deleted all her videos.
That's not true. Patricia did not delete all her videos, and she's got screenshots here showing me that they're all in private. Mark is just making shit up.
Gone. In fact, only the skeleton remains. And
false.
Delete or private, still the same thing. It's not accessible for the public, right? It's not at easy access. They can't get to it, so it's one and the same, really. Deleted or hidden. So yeah.
False.
And I'm not even sure why that's up.
Or they just are public or private.
No, they're gone.
No, they're not. They're private.
They're absolutely gone. And thank you, DJ, for mentioning that. Here's why I know that.
I mean, you even saw him put his head down, DJ, because he knows, and he's just letting Mark just steamroll him and make up the story. He's like, no, they're on private, and he's like, no, they're not. No.
Only the skeleton remains, and I'm not even sure why that's up.
Or they just are public or private.
No, they're gone. They're
See, yeah, no, they're gone. Yeah, Yeah, it could be on private. It could be on private. Yeah.
They're absolutely gone. And thank you, DJ, for mentioning that. Here's why I know this.
How do
Because
you know?
Robbie loves social media, and I watched him try to hide because you can make your videos private. You guys ever wanted to delete your
That's what he just said. Their
channels,
videos are
don't, and
private.
you like your videos, don't delete the videos. Just make them private. The hit count stays; they're just private in case you change your mind or you're looking them in the background. It's the private setting has multiple purposes. So Robbie, who had what 690 videos, give or take, is down to like 200 and change. He has selectively hidden, made private 400 and something videos. The hit count is still at 20 million. I'm watching everything you're doing, Robbie. He changed.
Why? What are you watching what he's doing for? What's wrong with you?
The banner, he changed the mission statements, and then he went into Celebrate Truth. What was hard?
Isn't that what people should do? Should he have left up the Flat Earth banner like you? Should he keep selling a debunked map app? Should he trap people into a cult with lies, deception, fake stories?
Heartbreaking was going, you've seen, remember, celebratetruth.org. That's gone. That's replaced with literal Will Duffy text.
What?
Okay.
It's replaced with literal Will Duffy text. What was
that? Segues into Will Duffy.
You telling the truth?
Oh. Don't know. This is exclusive, just for you guys.
Well, it's exclusive. Let me guess. Was it a little red man on your shoulder?
Breaking news, everybody.
Breaking news.
Okay. Does he have a big nose?
Okay. Here's.
Does he like money?
Red and white.
One of the subtitles of the show should be "Things You Could Have Done Better." I critique movies all the time out loud. I'm watching TVs and television shows. It's like, yeah, that's not what you do in that scene. You do this, this, and this. Could have been a Hollywood writer.
And yeah, you could have been a lot of things. Could have been president, probably porn star. A lot of things you could have done, but you chose this.
And people would accuse me of being a Hollywood writer.
Okay.
Will Duffy goes on the debate with Nathan Thompson and pushes his buttons hard. But in the beginning, it was just a propaganda fest, which was Will Duffy's trying to sell the movie. He just keeps trying to.
It's a propaganda fest. It's a debate, and it's called an opening statement. So just because somebody says things differently than you believe, it doesn't become a propaganda statement. It's an opening statement or propaganda piece, whatever you said. Just we don't need to demonize the other side like that. Like it is clearly the case that the flat earth can no longer be in debates. They shouldn't be in any debates. If I was in a debate with a flat earther, which I don't have any intent on doing, I would stick to simply asking, where is the South Pole? How is there a South Celestial Pole? Why does the sun set right to left in the south? Why does it go backwards and upside down? Why is there circumpolar stars in the south that is impossible on a flat map? And I would not leave from there because they can't ask you anything that you can't explain as a glober. You'll be able to explain it all, but them, they can't even get off the ground.
To sell it, which is the exodus that is now happening, right? The exodus of people that are leaving flat earth. And you can watch it. It's literally in the first part of the debate. Just Will Duffy's, that's his opening statement. It's like, look at all the people that are leaving because Nathan said nobody leaves flat earth. Hell, I've said it. Nobody did.
That's why he said it, because Nathan said in his opening statement, and by the way, once you globe, what is it? Once you globe flat, once you go flat, you don't globe back. And then it was, okay, next, okay, here's Will Duffy. And Will Duffy's like, can you admit that you lied? That statement you just made is a false statement because Jaron went back and then he named some other people.
Flat earth. For 10 years, nobody left flat earth. And then all of a sudden.
Not for 10 years, nobody left flat earth. That's a lie. There's many people that have left flat earth, from Ranty to, what's the other guy's name? I forgot his name. And Rachie, and you've got tons of people that just didn't tell you, and there's tons of people that just disappeared. What about Tiger Dan? I mean, I need to apologize to Tiger Dan right now. It keeps bugging me. I don't know if the guy's still alive. If you are, Tiger Dan, let's have a show where you can make fun of me, because it was 8 years ago, 7 years ago, where you did a video saying Antarctica is what they tell us. It's at the bottom of a ball. And I made a video back saying, you're an idiot. You're a loser. You go off and do your own thing. We'll stay here. The big boys will stay here and take care of this. And you took off. And 8 years later, I realized, oh, shit. Oops. You kind of were...
Absolutely correct, sir.
Yeah, so, what are you going to do?
Tiger Dan. Who's that?
For some strange reason, giant content creators. Well, not giant content creators, but more low-hanging
giant
fruit.
What about Z? Does Z leave the flat earth? Or is flat earth, sorry, is rising earth still flat earth? It's just rising, right? So technically he's still in the community or in the flat earth community. Am I right about that? Or is that something completely different?
And I want both your feedback on this. You ready? But Will Duffy goes off on this tear. He starts naming names, which I'm doing now. He's naming names, right? Jaron and Robbie Davidson and Rose 777. By the way, Rose, if you're listening to this, you might want to get ahead of
Thank you very much. Seek truth, speak truth. Thank you very much.
that because Will Duffy's telling everybody you've been flipped. And so far, he's batting 1,000. No offense to Rose. I love you, dear. I've spent time with you.
Doesn't he seem like these two are just sitting there just all calm, and this guy's just so out of his mind wired? Like, it's like he sounds like
Going into space, mathematics, quantum mechanics, the secrets of the universe. It's all there. Life is fiery with its beauty.
sounds pretty close. Listen.
But you got to get ahead of this because Will's telling everybody you're gone. And if you're not gone, you got to settle this one way or the other. All right?
Okay.
Will Duffy's rattling off all sorts of names.
Triggered much?
And then he just ends. You know the one name that he didn't mention? You want to take a guess? Patricia Steer.
So what does that mean? Who cares?
That was 2 days ago.
So he needs to. So in order for there not to be a conspiracy, he needs to remember to say every single person's name. He can't forget one.
That kind of had me scratching my head a bit. It's like, really? Because Will Duffy is part of the group, right? He's part of the upper echelon of what is happening.
The upper echelon of what is happening. I shouldn't laugh, but it's like getting really bad. We're now in a community that just makes up shit to keep the flat earth alive. They will say anything. They'll say that we predicted the 24-hour sun because they use an apparent sun, place it where the globe says it should be, and then says, we predicted it. And you know what happens? Flat earthers say, yeah, we predicted it. All flat maps predicted it. That's embarrassing.
That makes me wonder. It's like, okay, I know he didn't forget because Jaron knew earlier in the week, which means Will Duffy knew.
You know he didn't forget? That's weird.
Which means all sorts of people knew. MC Toon knew. So why didn't Will?
How did MC Toon know? Where are you getting this shit from?
Bring her up. Why? Seems kind of odd. Now you could go down the line and say, well, Patricia's the mastermind, and she, she told him not to say it on air.
Spiraling.
And they wanted the soundbite from me because they wanted me to read her letter. I suppose you could go down that road.
Alex Jones, what do you say about everything that Mark's saying right now?
It's all fake.
Just making sure. Thank you.
Or you could say, well, they forgot. I doubt.
So, excuse me, is Mark Sargent just making things up? Is he just babbling? Is he making things up right now? Just to hold an audience? Marky Mark, come on.
That because he named all the small players, but deliberately omitted Patricia.
So what?
So why? What also means, by the way, that if that's the case, if it's Will Duffy's show, if he's the one, I know people are saying, oh, Will Duffy's the one. It's like, is he? Is he pulling the strings? Or
there is
there
no
somebody else
strings
going
here.
on?
There is no strings here, Mark. I'm tired of listening to this because it's just, you can listen to yourselves. It's one lie after another throughout the whole show. The entire thing. And it's upsetting to see Lisbeth have to sit here on her first show and not get a chance to speak while you tell lies. So now I don't know what I have to do. Do I have to spend 2 hours with her telling her the truth? Because you aren't capable of doing that?
Was he instructed not to talk about Patricia? Why? Why not talk about it? Again, I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt. I think it's really unusual.
If you gave her the benefit of the doubt, you'd shut your fucking mouth.
He would say she hasn't flipped because publicly she hasn't flipped. Now, of course, he can say it because I can out her, even though I'm not gonna publish the letter. The letter, by the way, is out. There's all sorts of people that have the letter. You guys got the letter. I'm not gonna post it in chat. So why?
Why?
Chat room, tell me why didn't Will Duffy mention?
But why are you not going to post it? I'm not going to post it in chat. Why not? Why? She said, here's my reason for leaving. You can show it to the audience. I think it would be a good thing.
Patricia, and don't say that she's the evil overlord. I'm not buying it. Not buying it. It's been a long time with it. DJ, you got a thought? Theory?
I mean,
if I say a theory, you're just going to shoot me down.
I don't know what to say in this situation. I had a conversation just the other day, and she said I could talk about it. I'm just hoping that she is telling me the truth. I mean, she doesn't have to, but I'm just hoping that the truth comes out. And it just seems like when you paint the picture that there is some squirrely things going on that I wasn't fully aware of, and I'm trying to process right now.
No, because you were talking to Patricia, who's being honest. You've talked to me, and I've been honest with you. And now Mark is filling your head with straight up lies. That's why you're discombobulated. Nothing makes sense, is because Mark has to tell a story. I think that Dave Weiss is in his ear saying things that are not true, that Mark takes to be true because Dave Weiss says, I heard it from an insider person. And that's not the case. There is no insider person. It's just Dave hearing from somebody and then running with that this whole idea of like, I can make up all these things now and I can pretend that there's some insider. But here's the thing, I noticed that it's the same verbiage going around. The same verbiage. Continue.
But does it change the fact that I think that the Earth is special? No. And does
I think he might be next to turn. The DJ might be next to turn again. I think DJ's gonna turn again. Think he's gonna go globy.
does it change the fact that I think we're still missing ample proof? What do I say here? We don't have curvature, and we don't have the pictures from space, and there's a lot of other things such as gravity and the heliocentric model and all.
Okay, so again, curvature is very difficult to. I don't know what you want for measurement of curvature. You can find surveyors that will show you reciprocal zenith angles. Now, before I thought that they were because the item dropped. Now that I see that the Earth is a sphere, I can easily change that to, oh, they are measuring reciprocal zenith angles. They're measuring curvature. It's not that hard to do. I showed you a rocket that is not seen for 1 minute and 5 seconds until it appears on my horizon. Where was the rocket for 1 minute and 5 seconds?
What?
Are we supposed to believe in vanished land? Because that doesn't make a lot of sense to me, that it just sits there. Picture that. What that means is that as soon as the rocket takes off, it's literally sitting on the horizon line, just sitting there. Even though it's flying upwards, it doesn't move in real life. It just sits there till 1 minute and 5 seconds have gone by. Then it's like, okay, now I'll show myself. People tried to tell me, oh, it's angular size. No, it's not, because it's going up. It's actually going up and away from me. So it's not changing its angular size. If anything, it's getting smaller, not bigger. So this becomes painful. I don't want to hear this for the second time of you just lying about every single thing. And everybody who listens to you, I mean, if you read the chat, everyone's just in there, oh, I knew Jaron was a problem and he's a pervert. And just everything that's being said is just disgusting. People calling Patricia a man. I mean, it's just, can we say one man down? They think it's funny. It's just stupid garbage from people who have nothing better to do but get their jollies off making fun of others. These are losers sitting in their grandmother's basement watching Mark's show.
Uh-oh. Basement talk.
While he lies to them.
All those things that have to come into play for the globe to be viable. Therefore, I exist on the side of.
Okay, but there's many more things that need to come into play for the flat Earth to be possible, and they're all impossible. You're not going to make a map that says the sun goes right to left in the south, but still circles the Earth in a clockwise formation. What? This is how we know that the flat Earth is not ever going to happen. I can say that with complete, I was going to say satisfaction, which is probably true, but I can say that with complete confidence that the Earth will never be flat. Get over it. Drop it, move on. It's embarrassing, and I know I was part of it. I know that not everybody went down with me, but I've also, from that trip, come up with other things where I'm like, oh my God, I never noticed this. I didn't see this. The circumpolar stars in the south disprove the flat Earth. The south celestial pole disproves the flat Earth. The south pole disproves the flat Earth. The right to left setting sun in the south disproves the flat Earth. Now you've got a bunch of people out there that just can't hear that, and they will make fun of me and say, well, Jaron thinks that you proved the flat Earth wrong. Yeah, right. I'm not saying I did. I'm saying observations do. You don't need me. But you sit in your house all day. You're not going outside and looking at the sun. You'll never figure it out because people like Mark Sargent will lie to you and tell you everything works great on flat Earth. Just so you know, Mark Sargent is something because of flat Earth. So if flat Earth becomes nothing, which it is, what does that make Mark Sargent?
Created realm. I'm in the middle of my walk with the Lord. I'm trying to understand what he wants from me for my life. I'm not perfect. And it just breaks my heart, you guys. I'm literally feeling like, how could anyone turn their back on the truth?
Oh, okay.
Lisbeth, do you have any younger person's theory? I know you're taking college courses right now, so what is it?
Well,
let's just skip forward.
In Pennsylvania, yeah, I've seen snow, and so it wasn't necessarily as far as back.
Oh, finally, Lisbeth is talking. It seems like it. I want to see if she's got anything to say.
You can't say NASA sucks literally for 10 years.
But not because people decided to change their mind, but because I just don't think that what is going on in the sky, like we've said, predicts the floor. I mean,
right, that's what you've said, even though it's not allowed in any walk of life. You're not allowed to dictate what is evidence and what isn't. If evidence is when something leads you to a possible conclusion. You don't get to bar evidence because it proves the opposite. That's why you're barring the evidence, because the evidence proves the Earth is a sphere. So as flat earthers, you're like, we better not accept that evidence.
And to me, light can be in two places at one time pretty freaking easily.
Sure, light.
That's the same thing Karen B says. 10 years, her, observations has showed her that it's a globe. She doubled down on it as well the other day. She said it again. She was like, where have you lot been for the last 10 years? Where have you been? I knew this 10 years ago, blah, blah, blah. I was like, whoa, okay. There you go. Okay.
Sure, light's in lots of places at one time, but the sun isn't.
I mean, I've been walking my dog on my street every day, a couple times a day, and I'm noticing when the sun's overhead, it's reflecting off of all the car windshields. It's reflecting off.
Yeah, the car windshield. So is there windshields in the sky? We flew down there in a 757 airplane and landed on the ice. Wouldn't we have hit a windshield?
All the windows, and it looks like if you look.
There's no windows in the sky either.
Quite up close to it, looks like the sun is right there. So
right, because you're seeing a reflection off of glass. We were down there. We watched the sun circle us. It never reflected off any glass. It's the same sun. We looked at the sunspots. It's over. Cash it in.
Why is it so hard, do you think, Mark, for the flat Earth community to wrap, not everyone, but people out there that are not happy with the results of TFE? Why do you think that it's so hard for them to fathom that the sun could be in two places at one time?
Let me ask George Carlin if he knows anything.
I can prove it with my usual flawless logic.
Oh, okay.
Refraction.
I'm stealing that word, reflection. That's a great word.
That's where I'm at.
I'm grabbing that. That's a t-shirt.
Reflection.
Okay, it's something I've said on different occasions, which is
Please tell us.
unfortunately the general public is visual only. They don't like math. They don't like calculations. They don't like anything that one of the reasons why it gained as much traction as it did is because the term was so simple and everybody knew it. You know what I mean? The flat Earth, 2 syllables, they get it. Oh yeah, flat Earth. Times because it's one of the most popular virtual reality movies. Which is, I come from the video game world. I played video games. I produced video games.
Oh, that's good.
I lived and breathed video games and everything that they wanted to do. And I was there when they first put the sun in the sky, when it came to gaming. And it's like, okay, what do we do with this? And it's like, well, the sun's just going to follow whoever. It's like, what if there's more than one person? It's just going to follow everybody individually, and they're not going to know any different. The thing that Austin has said, which is, the sun is unique. I don't know, there's different sayings. I don't know if Lisbeth, if you guys got a different word for it, different perspective on the sun,
so let's see what he makes
why
up here.
The parallax rays look the same for everybody, no matter where you are, on the ground.
Huh?
It's like, oh yeah, the parallax is right there. No, I'm 20 miles away, and the parallax is right there, and you could point to it, and you point to different spots.
That's just bullshit.
David Weiss did that thing with the shadows in the sheet. It's
put the sun. What you guys have to figure out is why the sun is above Australia at noon for them, and it's seen 30,000 miles away in the south of Antarctica. That means that that's not, oh, I'm seeing a reflection of the sun in a window. We've duplicated the sun and moved it to where the globe says it should be and called it our observation. It's gross. It's just gross.
short answer, DJ. It's just tough for people to get it. Most people aren't three-dimensional thinking, and I'll use a biblical thing, which is you've said many times, we're not going to fully understand this. This world was.
Then if we're not going to understand it, then stop promoting a flat Earth. Because what you're doing then, if nobody's ever going to understand the Earth, is you're causing problems for children as they grow up in the education system. And I'm not saying that's a smart idea, but most people have to do that. They can't afford home care or homeschool. So by teaching children something that will never be proven according to you, that's not a very smart thing to do. Those children are going to believe in something. They're going to get to school. They're going to say something to their friends. They're going to be made fun of, probably popped in the face or something. Who knows? It would be better if you just said, here's what science has shown to be the case. Your mom and dad and we believe that the Earth is flat, but we believe it for religious reasons because we understand that it cannot be scientifically shown or be shown to be tenable at all. So that's the problem.
Meant to not deceive us, but to keep us guessing. It's a mystery that never ends. And
then stop teaching that the Earth is flat if it's a mystery that never ends.
I'll use the motion thing. There's a human weakness that we all have, and I think I've said this to you before. You can look it up. I can't remember the name of the study. It's university studies on this stuff, where you all know we've all been victim of this, where you're sitting in a train or a plane or a car.
Come on,
and break, what the hell, right? they've done studies where they put people in these scenarios like wooden cars, and they either move the
Come on.
it's our weakness. We can only, we see in really one spectrum, and everything else is all jumbled up. So multiple light sources, yeah.
Yeah.
Why the hell wouldn't you?
Right.
Sorry, go ahead.
Look, to me, it's just
I think we should add eight suns, because then the Earth is probably like a pizza box shape, and it's just that you use the eighth sun covers everything. And why would we be against that? I mean, we don't need evidence of that. Just I think it works better with eight suns, personally.
just more. Like
Suns.
I said, the wonder of this place is going to continue to surprise us, in my opinion, and that means that
The wonder of this place can surprise you as a believer in a globe.
one light source moving around up in the sky, if it is reflecting or refracting,
Leave it in a globe. Hold on, say that, Pat.
or
A globe.
continue to surprise us, in my opinion, and that means that
The wonder of this place can surprise you as a believer in a globe.
one light source moving around up in the sky, if it is
This place can surprise you as a believer in a globe.
one light source moving around up in the sky, and that means that
The wonder of this place can surprise you as a believer in a globe.
one light source moving around up in the sky, if it is reflecting or refracting, or reflecting is the new word the chat liked. If it's reflection, the sun can be in multiple places at one time, and that to me is more likely than all of a sudden we're back in a spinning space ball.
Okay, let me just explain something that you're. So, one of the proofs against the globe that Flat Earth loved to tout was they said, "Oh, there's a impossible eclipse where the sun is above the horizon and so is the moon," and the globe comes along and says, "Yes, we need 0.6 degrees of refraction on both sides, a total of 1.2 degrees of refraction to make that work." And flat earthers laughed hysterically at them and said, "What? We're not giving you, you're not going to lift the sun and moon up and move them above the horizon. We're not giving you that." So fast forward a couple years, all of a sudden now we're okay with the moving of the sun 180 degrees, just a small 178.4 or something, or 0.6 more than the globe was asking for, but it's no problem for us. We predicted it. It's just 180 degrees, just move it over there. Just move it 30,000 miles away. The globe is asking to move it up 0.6 degrees. That's about the size of the sun. They're asking, move it up. That's what we're seeing. We're seeing things lifted. And so if you think that's a problem with the globe, then we have to be applying it equally, meaning that then 1.2 degrees of refraction for the flat earth should be frowned upon. But you're just willing to give them 180 degrees? Well, you can make any map work if you get 180 degrees refraction.
The empty, ever expanding universe where they need so many things to work for that model. So that's the shocking part to me. That's probably why I've just been completely just not able to speak. How do you go from all of these flat earth proofs to
Okay, there shouldn't be such thing as proofs. If you're talking about literal proof, even though some people might say that, I say that on occasion, but I don't mean proof. There should never be proof. I don't think that the globe Earth has been proven. I think that the globe Earth is the best explanation for the observations. Usually, after a long period of time, when you've weighed these all out, whatever that theory is that best matches observations tends to be correct. So you can clearly say that the flat Earth is in it's not even in the same city as the globe Earth. It may have snuck in the city a little bit and it was starting to hang around and look around. But once we saw that it doesn't prove that we saw that the South isn't a lie, then it was kicked out of the city, removed. It's not even anywhere near the city. It's probably not in the same state.
default back to a globe?
Oh,
It's not default back to a globe. It's which one better matches observations. Every single sunrise, sunset
Lisbeth.
for every.
Hey, has anyone seen this? Does Lisbeth even speak in this? Does Lisbeth even talk in this? What the fuck?
Single location on Earth for every single day of the year, for every single year of the millennium, is predicted and expected on a globe, or it's what it calls for. So it's not just, oh, let's default back to the globe. It's which one better matches observations.
You want me to be nice about it, or you just want me to say it?
I
take
I think everyone wants to know.
Okay, fine.
Because I exist in the we don't know exactly how it works, but we know what it's not. So
How do you-
Why would we say that? See the problem with flat earthers? You cannot say that. You cannot say, I don't know what it is, but I know what it's not. But how do you know it's not a globe if we just said all observations match that?
My mind's out.
How do you flip all of a sudden?
Yeah.
I'll tell you. You take the pieces of silver, like Judas.
Oh boy. So now I took the pieces of silver. I wonder if Dave told him that.
Cheap, lying, no good, rotten low-life, snake-licking, dirt-eating, inbred, overstuffed, ignorant, blood-sucking, dog-kissing, brainless, dickless, hopeless, heartless, fat-ass, bug-eyed, stiff-legged, spotty-lipped, worm-headed sack of monkey shit.
Thank you. Clark goes over.
And you say whatever they tell you to say.
Nobody has told me to say a thing, not a thing. Nobody's ever made a. In fact, the only person that's ever told me what I can or can't say is Dave Weiss. If there's anybody telling me things I can't say, is Dave.
That's all it really is. You can't flip back. The conditioning. Come on.
You can't flip back. What if you saw that what you believed isn't the case? Right? You can't flip back.
Are cult deconditioning facilities that take a month or more to snap you out of anything. Whatever.
Wait. I don't think I heard this live. Did he just say cult reformation facilities? Let me go back and see. He didn't say that, right?
No, what it's not. So
How
that's
do you-
where my mind's at.
How do you flip all of a sudden? Well, I'll tell you. You take
Tell
the
me to
pieces
say
of silver, like Judas, and you say whatever they tell you to say. That's all it really is. You can't flip back. The conditioning. Come on. There are cult deconditioning facilities
He's now talking about cult deconditioning facilities.
that take a month or more to snap you out of anything, whatever condition. And we did it, the space stuff especially. You cannot. I mean, for me, it would take less than Jaron, because I didn't hammer on NASA as hard as Jaron did. You can't say NASA sucks literally for 10 years.
NASA sucks. Period.
Just because you're 50 and over does not mean your love dissolves. This
Well, I thought he's a NASA boy now. No? I thought he's a Globie. I thought he's a NASA boy. But NASA sucks. I don't understand. I'm confused.
And then be like, oh, SpaceX, that seems totally legit.
I didn't say that. The rocket launch is legit, Mark. The rocket is launching in real life. I don't even care if it goes to space. I don't even care about that. I'm talking about the height of the rocket when I see it from my horizon. NASA sucks. They're inept. It's a bad organization. They flip-flop their leaders in there. Every president change. Nobody ever gets anything done. They're highly overspent. They never are on time. They actually charge us more money for the products that they develop with our money because we pay for the scientists. The scientists invent something, they get a patent, and then NASA sells the patent to the highest bidding company, and then that company makes a product and we pay more for it. NASA sucks. They've gone nowhere since 1958. They've been run terribly. I should be in charge of NASA. Step one, we put a 24-hour video camera of the Earth in, I don't know, the Lagrange point between the moon and the Earth. Okay, they don't take care that we would get a 24-hour live stream from the ISS. We don't even have that. Oh, sorry, we disconnected because we're on the dark side of Earth. That's what NASA says on their live stream. As if there's not satellites, as if you can't beam something down to the ground and do an undersea cable to the United States. Why would it be that we shut off the camera for 90 minutes? So NASA does suck.
A snit without having basically a stroke. You can't do it overnight. So
it didn't happen overnight. What do you mean overnight? You don't think I thought about the implications of the trip I was going on for the entire time for 6 months? You don't think Austin and I had late nights where we sat and talked about it? You think I just played games and then, woke up on the 14th. I'm in Antarctica. I better start thinking about this.
Oh, sorry, but and sorry, I don't want to. Let me spin this into something fun. I'm not saying. You know what? I just came up with an idea. You guys want to have some fun? Yeah, let's do this. This is for Will
Here we
Duffy.
go.
Since Will Duffy, I suspect that you're offering cash for burning down your channels, for sinking.
You think, where is your evidence of this? And Will, if you're giving people cash for, can you please reach out to me? What the hell are you doing?
Your own ship. Anyone? I want to know what the going.
He probably is thinking like, I bought that guy a trip. He's not getting any of the cash that I'm giving everybody else. It's a joke, people. It's a joke. He doesn't have any cash. He's Satan. Satan doesn't have cash.
Rate is. I want somebody to see if they can find out for it behind the scenes. Somebody, contact Will Duffy, contact MC Tune, and say, hey, I've got a channel with 5,000 subs, with 10,000 subs with Flat Earth. What's it going to take? What do I get if I burn it down?
Do you really think that is that a real thing that you're saying?
I want to know. Somebody find out. See if you can get that far without signing the NDA, and let me know.
Wow.
I'd love to see that. Sorry, DJ, that's my honest answer to your question. You can't do it. That's why our track record, which I said for a decade, was so unbelievably perfect, which was just like, we still have 99%.
Alex Stein, do you have anything to say about this?
Wow.
Just making sure.
It's that retention rate. But our retention rate was absolutely amazing. Because how can you? And in fact, the documentary Behind the Curve, which I know lots of people hate, but hey, it's out there. It's in the syllabus for a lot of people now. And the high school I'm dealing with, they show it every year to their classrooms.
There's a reason for that.
I think they're in Chicago. The point is that even they said the reason why Flat Earth does as well as it does is because we don't, you've heard me say this, we don't force it down your throats. We don't persuade you. We don't convince you. We just put the idea in your head.
You say they show behind the curve in the studio, in the school every year. Is that what he said? They show behind the curve in one of the schools. Okay, behind the curve. That's something I want to go into next time. Behind the curve. I want to have a look at that. I wonder if I'll get copyright if I show it on my channel. That's the only problem. I know I would get copyright.
Just put the idea in your head, and we've all done it, and it just rattles around there like a.
Well, that's because I do think this is the case. I do think that the globe is so counterintuitive that they have to indoctrinate. And I'm not saying I agree with it, but I think they have to indoctrinate people with it because some people aren't very sharp. And if you're not indoctrinated with it, then it just doesn't make sense for half the population. That maybe they'll never get it. They can never fathom size. They can't understand that size matters. And it just becomes a problem. So I think they indoctrinate children. I'm not saying it's a good idea. I'm not saying it's a good idea at all. But what are you going to do? All right, let's continue. And I thought I had something over here. Where'd it go? No idea. Let's go. I'm almost done. Is there anything else important to talk about? Oh, he does. I know, that's me saying it.
Let's put it that way. Right? You're never going to see me. You will never see me flip ever. Now,
I mean, that is the most. You are not allowed in any scientific endeavor. You cannot say, "I will never flip ever." Then what are you doing? MC Toon said if the sun sets, he would flip to a flat earther. Duffy said that. That's what being a man is saying, here's what I think, and if not, then I'll change my beliefs. You just said, doesn't matter. So you're going to go in here and you're going to throw people under the bus. You're going to throw me under the bus. You're going to, and because you can't imagine why we would flip, but you've just admitted that you never would. So you don't even have the thought of what if I saw something that tells me I'm wrong? Mark, check out, bro. Check out. You've done this too long or something.
That's it. I mean, they don't budge. Flat earthers don't budge. I'm not saying Jaren's right on this one, but from what I've seen and observed, flat earthers don't really budge when it comes to information.
You've done this too long or something. I don't know. It's just crazy that you would say that.
This is an important message from the CDC.
What
You
is
have
going
been
on?
recognized as someone.
something may happen to me. My plane might fall out of the sky, but that doesn't mean anything. I take that over a flip. Let's put it that way. Right? You're never going to see me because there's no leverage. I never got married, never had kids. People say, well, why weren't you?
No, you're missing the point. We didn't flip because there was leverage. We didn't flip because they came at my child and my wife. I flipped because of evidence.
Approach. Like, what are you going to approach me with?
Evidence.
What are you going to do?
Evidence.
I never got myself into a position where you could do anything.
There's not a position. I'm not in any position that they can do anything to me. I did what you're supposed to do. Observe evidence, weigh the options, choose the one that best matches the evidence. Not just sit in your chair and say, I'm not doing anything. I'll never change ever.
I mean, all my mistakes were done, like you said, DJ. Nobody's perfect. Yes, lots of people.
There's no mistakes being done. Who have you been talking to? Dave Weiss? Are you in the Dave Weiss world that everybody who has something bad on their record and the government approaches them, makes them a deal that they don't go to jail? Like Duffy, he was supposed to go to jail, but then the government went to him and said, you're going to pretend to be a pastor and you're going to fake the earth. And we're going to tell you all the facts and all the details. And then you're going to do it and we'll let you out of jail. Is that what you actually think, Mark?
People know my fireworks story, which is why
nobody cares about fireworks.
It's a journey. Oh, my Lord.
You can't vote. That's why you can't vote, right? We didn't get
I cannot vote. I cannot be on jury duty. I'm not supposed to own guns and all that stuff. And at the same time, and honestly, I shouldn't even have a passport. It's been renewed now. I'm on my third one. So whatever, yes, everyone makes mistakes, but in my case, I wanted to get that away. I did not want.
What does stop the cap
I was about my life, which was I didn't want somebody 4 years into the road. It's like,
can you be that deluded? What's the guy's name? I just saw him. Somebody said stop the lie or something. What Cannon. Stop the cap term. So you think what I'm doing here is lying? I've just shown you all the evidence you need to know where you live. I've shown you that these guys are lying to you to keep you in the cult. I've shown you that Mark Sargent says he will never flip no matter the evidence that's shown. He's making up lies about former flat earthers that were his friends. He's saying dangerous lies. When you tell people that somebody's taken the money, don't be surprised when they get jumped when they get hit because some crazy person thinks that that's true. What is wrong with you? You call it truth, but wouldn't know truth if it hit him in the face. Oh, boy. What's this guy's name? Cannon? Nice name. Cannon. I wish you would wake up. Hey, Nick Havoc in the house. Nick, enjoyed your videos. Every time I see one come on, I watch it. And that's a very short list. There's not a lot of people that I enjoy listening to. But I think that we have a lot of the same thoughts. And I do apologize. I know you said you weren't mad at me, but I do apologize, obviously, as a content creator, to find out that you've been wrong. But the one thing I can say is I never lied. What Mark is doing on this show, he's lied more times in the last 4 minutes than I lied in 10 years.
Damn. In the last 10 years, hey, 4 minutes to 10 years, that's a big difference. That's a big difference. Are you saying mostly, well, near enough, everything Mark had been saying today has been cap straight lies? Is that what you're saying? I've been sitting here listening to lies. Is that what you're saying, Jaron? We need, you know what we need? We need to hear, what's her name? Patricia's side of the story. Because Lisbeth's got nothing to say. She's been quiet the whole fucking 3 hours or whatever it's been. She's been quiet. Mark's been ranting. He's been doing what the woman should be doing, ranting. He's doing the Patricia part. Jesus Christ. I wanted to hear Lisbeth.
In 10 years. He's just lying about people that were his friends. I don't know how you can just be like, oh, that's fine, because he's a flat earther. See, flat earthers will allow anything from flat earthers, but they will not even look at evidence from a globe earther. That's a problem.
Like, wow, are you a criminal? Yeah, and then you have to dance around that a bit. It's like, no, strange world number one. Hey, I'm a criminal.
What?
But not not the bad kind. I can like go to playgrounds and stuff.
Well, I guess to get, I don't know how much time we got, but I just want to.
No more time.
Where my mind is at, just to kind of couple, I believe is the truth, and to turn from it.
Yes, but we all believed it was the truth. Nobody, not Patricia, not Robbie, not me, none of us didn't think it was the truth. The reason I pushed flat Earth is because I thought it was the truth. So everything I looked at it with the idea in my head that the flat Earth was the truth. And so, yeah, was there things that I should have seen as big red flags? Yeah, but when you're looking at it, you're like, well, the flat Earth is true. So, we'll try and fit this in. But I knew that there was things that would completely and totally debunk or falsify. And those would have to be done in the South, because the North, and here's the sad thing about it, the North works almost identical on the flat Earth and the globe. So you're not going to find problems in the North, because the North is just, on the AE map, is just a squished globe. Where the problems became, and we all knew this, was can we determine whether the Tropic of Capricorn is twice as long as the Tropic of Cancer? How would we do that? What would we need to be with a plane? How do we figure out whether the Earth turns left or right? And I never was smart enough to just contemplate, like, oh, the sun in the south. If the sun sets right to left, then the Earth cannot be flat. Now, again, I was able to take a paperweight and hold it up against the light and make it displace, at which point I said, okay, when Jake told me that, I said, yeah, but if there's a dome, then we could see the sun set right to left. But what you cannot see would be the sun going around you in Antarctica. Oh, wait, I might have gotten the message. Let me see. Let me know, Robbie or Patricia, if you guys are watching. If you text me, let me know if I'm forgetting any part of the lies, because I'm ready to kind of wrap it up. I mean, it's just obvious that this is not how you treat people. We've all been on the same team, and I even was telling people that I was planning to do one more Friday Unplugged, and then I was going to kind of move off of that and get over to my radio station, do some radio shows. A couple people want to do debates. I would probably do back on the channel, but I was going to lay off, because I don't want to be the enemy that people now, they're like, well, not Jaron's trying to destroy flat Earth, and they kind of get away from looking at it objectively because I'm here. So my plan was to disappear from at least this conversation. But now, after today and last night, I've realized now you've made me want to fight the flat Earth.
Oh, there you go. Bingo. Now it starts. The fight, that's what it is, the Civil War. This is what they was leading up to, right? The Civil War. This is what it's come to now. When the big dogs start to fight back, right? Apparently. Hmm? That's what it's come to. Okay, let me take that back.
Now, after today and last night, I've realized now you've made me want to fight the flat Earth.
Now the war begins. The Globies versus the Flatties. Okay. Now I understand the Civil War. It's okay. Okay, it's starting to make sense now. Mm-hmm. I see you, Nico. I see you. I see you. Yeah, okay. Very interesting. Civil War. Makes sense now.
To fight the flat Earth. You're not going to lie about people that were flat earthers just to keep people trapped in a cult. A cult is literally a place that will not allow you to have a difference of opinion or belief. And that's just not right, especially in a scientific endeavor. There is no cults. Okay. There is only what better matches the observations. And again, the one thing that I think is hilarious is when people come at me and I say, "Oh, so you believe in dark matter? You believe in dark energy?" Those are the furthest from my mind. I don't give a shit. You shouldn't give a shit. It's not going to be solved in your lifetime. It's not going to matter ever in your lifetime. It's not going to matter in your kids' lifetimes. Let those people that went to college for 8 years or whatever they go, 4 years, let them play around with their theoretics. It doesn't affect me. I don't care what dark matter is. I don't care what dark energy is. I think it means that they're wrong about what they think is going on deep in the universe. Okay. Am I going to go figure it out? Do I get access to telescopes that see 97 trillion miles? I don't think so. I don't think that happens. What do you have left? Come on, let's finish.
I'm going to pray for those people that are in their journey. I talked to Joe Hanby today, and that was really uplifting. So shout out to Joe, because I do think that his model is closer to what makes sense to me in my mind about where we live and how this place works and what's possible. Again, it's easier for light to be in two places at one time than it is for an ever-expanding space vacuum. And it's more in line with the scripture.
Okay, but you just said an ever-expanding space vacuum. So the ever-expanding part is just a theory. It's not, I've already said this, that they've got a model Edwin Hubble came up with where he said, okay, well, we're either the center of the universe or everything's moving away. But the expansion, they didn't know what it is. So they had to make dark energy because something has to be expanding it. And they have to make dark matter because they're missing matter. So all that tells us is that they're not at a place that we should be championing. Is that a word? Championing. We shouldn't be championing. I can't say that word. Wow. Championing. We shouldn't be promoting those kind of, I mean, that's not our realm. I don't belong in a conversation about dark matter, dark energy, or the expanding universe. So I don't need to say it like that. I don't need to add ever expanding universe in there. It's just not important. It's like, wouldn't the flat earth have to have some sort of thing like that? So even if the earth became
Walaikum salam, Tarek. Yeah, they should be. They should be tired. I mean, it seems like a little civil war's about to happen now. You know, a lot of in-house stuff with the flat earthers and the globies. Watch this space, guaranteed.
So even if the earth became flat, then people would say, well, what's going on with the sky? Why does it look like things are moving away from us? Well, it's moving in an ever expanding universe. So that's just the cutting edge of science. Stop worrying about that. That has nothing to, what I worry about is the ground flat or is it a sphere? You can do observations yourself without my help, without anybody's help. And if you need that, you can reach out on my shop.journalism.com, pay for a consultation, and I'll walk you through it. I will tell you exactly what to do with the sun, with your camera, with your family, and you will walk away from that endeavor and you'll say, okay, the Earth's a sphere. Do I know if it's spinning? Do I know if the sun's a certain distance away? How big are the planets? All that stuff. Don't worry about that. It's not important. Just stop saying the Earth is something that it's not.
Sure. So I think what holds people back from biblical cosmology, where I see this headed, is the fact that they feel some sort of they feel guilt, or they feel like they have to change something about them and they feel not worthy or whatever. Guys, I've been there too. Still there. However, through belief, focus on what gives you this faith and this hope.
You guys got a thing that says Mark is the man with the master plan. That's a little bit scary. It's got a theme song too, and it goes like this. Earth is flat every day, and I'm not changing my mind no matter what.
Jaren sound bites. Hey, no diss to you, Patrick, but they're a bit like OTW sound bites. You like, what the fuck? What's so random? Huh? Step up your sound bites, OTW. You don't want to be known as a Jaren, right? The Jaren sound bite.
And I'm not changing my mind no matter what. I'm Mark Sargent.
Because that I think is going to carry people forward. But it's like I don't know what else to say. It's just seeking truth and sticking with it and not wavering is so what I think would be my advice. But everyone take their own.
Yeah, well said. Somebody reminded me of the vacuum test, the vacuum challenge that I put out there for several years, which like.
All right, we're done with that. So let's see. Let me check if I got any text. I don't. Okay. And then they end the show and they play their normal theme song. So that's. Thank you guys. All right, so let's move on to super chats, see what's going on over there, and we will round it out and call it a day.
Pulls you out of there. He said, round it up to super chat. Yo, Mr. Jaren, he ain't playing about. He said he's coming for some flat earth heads. Jaren. Patricia, what is going on? She jumped ship. Yeah, I don't know. It seems like the flat earth and the globe earth has got some unsettled business, settling business. Copy paste globe return statement. Uh-oh. Yeah, we got another flat earther enter the building. They're multiplying. Good on you, good on you. You just are because of one or two words like an upward vector. That must be for someone else. Upwards vector. Maybe it was me. Did I say something about upwards vector? Yeah. Gotta break the loop, gotta break the mold, right? Gotta break that shit. Oh man. So what is happening? What is happening? Hope everybody is well out there. Let me see who's live before we get out of here. See if we can crash any parties real quick. Oh. Wow, you know what's wild? I just looked at my subscription list, right? And then I saw Lisbeth. And I was like, oh fuck, Lisbeth, she's live. Forgetting that's me. Jesus Christ. That's wild. Yeah, that's crazy. I was about to hit that live with my bloody title. I'm gonna hit my own live. Oh man. Yeah, that's how you know it's getting late. It's getting late. What's new out there? Any new flat earth information? Hmm? Any new globe information? Any new rising earth information? Any new biblical information? Any more I don't know. Is there any more? Any more models? Any more VR information? Any more VR information? I think that's about it. No, didn't think so. Didn't think so. Nothing's new out there. Is that saying really true? Nothing new under the sun. Is that really true? No, I only found out today. That's it. Hey, Tiddle, I only found out today. I only found out today that she was a part. That's why that she's no longer a part of the flat Earth. Oh, sorry, I didn't. Is that the reason why? I thought because of. Oh Lord, is that the reason why? Yeah. Okay. No, I didn't know that. I thought it was because information. I'm pretty sure I heard Jaren say something to do with the information. I'm pretty sure I heard Jaren say, yeah, Jaren said some stuff about her, the information not sitting right with her, with the flat earth. Maybe that's another one, and maybe that's a part of the reason also. You know, these flat earthers, they can be pretty ruthless sometimes, can't they? Can't they? Hmm? These flat earthers can be very ruthless, when they get going. Mm, very ruthless. Have you met my mate boy? Very ruthless. You met Karen Boo? Very ruthless. Mm? Flat earthers, very ruthless. Cutthroat business, cutthroat, cutthroat. That's crazy though. So she's left. That's what I'm saying. She's left. She's left. So now Lisbeth is taking that spot, right? Co-host. Maybe we should let Big Sister know that Mark Sargent needs a new co-host before Elizabeth gets, her feet under the table. Because she didn't really bring nothing. I listened today. I didn't hear nothing. I didn't hear nothing. I didn't hear nothing. I was hoping to hear Elizabeth talk her talk, but nothing. Has anybody got any audio or footage of her talking? Nothing. You can't find nothing other than her featuring on the what's his name? Final Experiment guy. I forgot his name. That Will Duffy. Just that type of stuff. I ain't seen nothing else other than that. And Mark Sargent obviously today. So makes me wonder who are these people? Right? Who are these people? Who are these people? Is it only my perspective that's changed? Why is it only London's perspective that's changing? Why am I trying to get everybody to change their perspective? Is everybody comfortable in what they see? Yeah, I was not aware of that. Boss of the bosses. Woke off to Asia. Who went to Asia? Was the Netflix edition? Sorry, editing. Netflix. What's on Netflix? Is that you talking about? The other one. Is it Behind the Curve? Is that the one? The Netflix one? Mark Sargent and Patricia. I was looking. Funny enough, if that is the one you're talking about, I was actually looking at that. So some of it today. but it's on the YouTube channel. I think it was like NBC News or something like that. I don't know whether I'll get a strike if I play something called NBC News. I don't know how they are. That's the thing with most of these channels with ticks and stuff. I'm not too sure how it goes, whether I'll get a strike. Sometimes I'll play it, sometimes I'm a bit cute, you know. I'm like, oh, don't know. Don't know. Yeah. Well, she's gone, whether they were speaking about her gender or not. Seems like she's gone. She's left the building and they've replaced her straight away. Straight away. They've replaced her, nothing long, just bam, straight in her grave. Right? Good for her, I suppose, right? Keeps her in a job. Keeps her in a job. 313 in a place to be. What's happening, Heidi? Much love. Hides in the building. Hope you've been well. Hope you've been well. Yeah, we was just playing a video, Hides, of the Flat Earth crew, Mark Sargent and Lisbeth and DJ Curious. Apparently that lady had left that sector. What's her name? Patricia Stairs. Is it Patricia Stairs? Something like that? Patricia, whatever her name is. She left the building. She's no longer a Flat Earth. Hold on, is she no longer a Flat Earth or is she just no longer affiliated with them? Did I miss something? I'm pretty sure she was no longer a Flat Earth, not just no longer affiliated with them. See, Tizzle, I don't think they even mentioned that part that you mentioned, you know. What's his name? Jaren only mentioned the Flat Earth stuff. He didn't mention the other stuff. Maybe he did and I missed it, but I'm pretty sure he didn't. Yeah, that was her recent email. See, there you go. So she's left the building. I wonder if she's going to get pushed back. How Jaren got pushed back. I mean, she didn't do scientific research. She just said she's left. She left, packed her bags, said it's not matching up. I'm out of here. That's okay, right? It's not making sense to her. That to be honest, that was like me when I was over at Bro Sanchez for quite some while. Quite some time. And you know, came across the Godfather, aka God Give Lemsdeath, and things fell into place. Things fell into place. I was like, okay, yeah, perspective has changed. I'm going in this direction. And no one was giving me grief how I see Jaren getting grief. I'm not a big fish like Jaren, you know, I'm only a small guy, small fry. So yeah, I made my change what 3 years ago, 2 years ago, whatever. But what I'm trying to say is always gonna change, you know, when it comes to this type of game. Things always change, your perspective change. It changes. So I don't know. That's why I say it's good to do your research, man. Good to do your research. I mean, look how much stuff I've been bringing to the table of lately, even when it comes to this firmament stuff and the celestial sphere, you know. These are things that are prominent within the community. The sphere is prominent and the celestial sphere is prominent. All right, but you know, people talk about them in a different way. And there's information showing otherwise that we should be talking about it in a different way. But know what the people want, you know. It's a cult-like mentality. Cult-like mentality. Yeah, stay out of it. That was a couple of years back. Emerge after a couple of years. Ah, so was it the same crowd that you come back to that put her on her bike? Yeah, it's I don't know. I don't know. It's a messy game. It's a messy game. It's a messy game. This truth for shit. It's a messy game. I'm telling you. It's a messy business. Yeah. The name doesn't speak for itself, you know. But I'm a type of person now. I don't mind how would you call it? A horrible truth, right? And a discomforting truth, right? Instead of a comfortable lie. Okay? I don't want a comfortable lie. Give me a scary truth. Give me a scary truth. You keep your comfortable lie. I want a scary truth. Oh shit. Oh Lord. World's gone crazy. Metaverse has gone crazy. Snaps has lost it. Steven's lost it. Tommy's lost it. Salty Siren's lost it. Paula's Slave's been lost it. Jack Talcott's lost it. Everyone's lost it. What the fuck? Everyone's lost it. What the hell is going on? Hmm? Then on top of that, Patricia's walking off. You lot are killing me out here. Stephen just turning up to random panels. You know, it's can't get a break. I tried to change the perspective, get people, you know, thinking we're talking about something different, but here we are. Here we are. Mm. Snafu Snaps calling everyone a PDF. I've got Stephen turning up at my front door, unexpected, waiting in the backstage. And then we've got Jack Talcott looking for a new co-host, which happens to be Stephen. And I ain't checked him with Paul on Slave for a long time, but I bet he's still on the same loop. It's fucking mental out here. Alright? And you got fucking Jackie Fox and Salty Siren shaking the tail feather at the Dark Side campaign now. Like, what's going on? Patricia Spears is walking away from the Flat Earth community. Karen B just still wild as fuck. What is going on? Mental. Where's Provo Kid when you need it? Crying out loud. We need more Provo on the airwaves. That guy's something special. I don't catch much of him, but when I do catch him, he's top notch. Top notch. Uh-oh. Oh, gosh. The world's gone mad. It's gone mad. It's gone mad. Oh, fuck. Provo's the man. Why has everybody got bad blood for the wrong people? That is one thing I did notice though. There's a lot of people with bad blood for the wrong people. I'm not saying it's right to have bad blood, or it's wrong to have bad blood. But if you're gonna have bad blood, have it for the right reason. Have it for the right reason. Safi, the optics are high. The optics are high. Your optics have been very low. Mm. You were sitting up with probably the top PDF. Mm. King Stefan, Big Sister. That guy's got children's toys for crying out loud. That was your best body. That was your body, right? The guy with the kiddie toys, right? The guy with the kiddie toys. That was your best body. You were like the three amigos at one point. You, him, and Tommy. Right? That was your body. That was your body. Right? The guy who played with the kiddie toys. That was your body, man. Destroy? Nah, I've been destroyed that clown. I've, I've been, come on, we've been. You see my work. You see my work. We've been destroying that clown. Why you know, I was cupcaking with that. Yeah, cupcaking with that. A lot of you was cupcaking with that. What? Third, second day when I got to know him. I kicked him to the curb straight away. After that stream, me and him done, I said, this guy's a weirdo. Let me go and see him one more time. I said, yep, confirmed weirdo. Knew it. Knew it. Everybody's been like, huh? Huh? And I don't fabricate nothing. We just use his own words and pictures against him. And that's more than enough. We don't AI nothing. Nothing gets AI. Nothing gets AI. We just use it, their pictures and their words against them. And that's it. That's enough. That's enough. Yeah, guy's a creep. Guy's a weirdo. Let me not even say that. The guy's sick. The guy needs help. All right, the guy's sick. The guy needs help. Clearly. 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 Oh shit. Oh man. You are. Oh man. And ask me why I have done nothing. I can imagine Tarek speaking like that. That's me why I have done nothing. Oh gosh. Gee, cool enough man that just like daddy, come on. Just like daddy. He said let's chat. They're like, no, my time's precious, man. I don't need a co-host. Nah, I'm good. I'm good, man. I'm gonna lose subscribers. I've been losing subscribers, bro. It's mad. First they love me, then they hate me, then they hate me, then they love me. Wow. But they, I know they're gonna leave me if I bring you up, bro. There's no doubt about it. They're gonna be like, "What? I'm out. Fuck that shit. No coming back." No, I can't do that. I'd love to, but mm. I even wanted to bring up Big Sister the other day, but I had to refrain myself. Like, no, can't let you out. And unfortunately, that's how they feel about you, bro. I can't. Uh-uh. It looks bad for business. You understand that? Surely. Surely. But there will be a time again, where I drop that link and maybe let you voice your opinion. After all, you are somebody. You are somebody. You're just not the guy at the moment. I'm not even the guy. I don't even know why they show up for me. The few of them love me. That's the ones that show up. The people that love me. You know, the others, they don't really care. you know, but yeah, it's not good for business. I don't know. If I let you up, then I gotta let Stephen up. Then I gotta let Tarek up, and I don't know. Then yeah, you know. Oh, shit. Oh, God. Oh, Lord. No charge. Really no charge. Yeah. Oh shit. Oh man. Mm-mm. Holy shit. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. That's a good time. Oh man. You know what? Oh shit. It's 103. You got 10 minutes. Not so 10. Look at me, 10 minutes. You got 5 minutes. All right. Got 5 minutes. Let me hear what's new. All right. Let me hear what's new. All right. Let me hear what's new for crying out loud. For fuck's sake. What did I just do? Shit. Can I rewind back time real quick? Let me rewind back time. Oh man. I know, innit? Innit? Oh. Oh shit. Mm. I guess that's why they're here though, right? That's why it's 16 of you are here. You wanna see you wanna see your hair that, right? But that's all right, I mean, I can fuck around like this, right? After all, I just gave you fucking part two to the final experiment, the movie, right? I've been giving it to you in flavors, right? And then what's new, real quick? Throw it back in. Stay there, no, don't you go nowhere. Stay there. What's that? I have to contact the girl of the natural creepy story. Oh, yeah, okay. Say that the story behind that, yeah. See, that's wild. There's a story behind everything, I suppose. Um, yeah, you gotta just know what you're getting yourself into when it comes to these YouTube personalities, those big ones anyway. Crazy. That's a pussycat talent. Let me guess, it takes a high probability. The weapons would be, yeah, nah. That's a real journalist, Real journalist. Uh-uh. Yeah, that shit's wild. It's wild. You lot can have it all anyway, man. That part of your playground, you lot can have it. You lot can have all of that. I don't want no part in that. Mm-mm. Keep me away. I just do my little parodies from time to time when I check in, do a bit of clipping, have a look at Big Sister, see what he's saying over there, do a bit of clipping, have a look at Jack, do a bit of clipping, have a look at what Paul's, do a bit of clipping. Look everywhere, do a bit of clipping everywhere. Everyone gets clipped. It's my show, right? You always get clipped. But I'm not a part of it. Right? I got my own thing going on, right? That's good enough for me. I didn't intend to it to be this way, but you know, it's manifested itself. Thanks to you guys. Thanks to you guys. You know, I love it. I love it. You've given me classic after classics with social experiments and everything. It's brilliant. Couldn't ask for more. Couldn't ask for more. Great. Oh man. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, while the coast is clear, while the coast is clear, look after yourself, love over war, lay low, London.